think I'd do better in a foursome than a threesome.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. I'm a full-blown Twitter addict. I don't think that's news to anybody.
No.
I think you maybe once were, but you're certainly not anymore. You've broken your addiction.
I wouldn't say I've broken it because it still is like, I still have like the phantom vibrations and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, listen, addiction, it lives with you forever. It's not like it just goes away. So you're not using anymore.
Well, no, that's not. I mean, I probably sent like 30 tweets yesterday.
Well, you're not you can tweet socially, like you can drink socially.
Yes, I'm actively aware of the problem, and
you're working at it.
Working at it.
Twitter to me is a top 5 invention and a bottom 5 invention because I think it's incredible what you can get for free and what unfolds in it. I think it's, people, I think people kind of take it for granted that it's like, we kind of have unfiltered, unfettered access to like some of the biggest celebrities, the most important minds, and you'll get them in their moments of weakness when they're like emotional or drunk or fucked up or whatever, and they send off their actual thoughts. It's like,
that's always been my favorite reason why Clooney doesn't have a Twitter.
Because he knows he
says I like to drink at night.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
but Clooney, you can tweet drunk, bro.
Nobody would give a fuck. It's like Chris Evans nude slipping. It's like, whatever.
No one's ever owned that better than he did.
Ever. Well, I don't love him making it all political.
Well, but he he had that one tweet, yes, but then like he was on talk shows on Monday.
Was he just clowning around about it?
It was just like, he was like,
That's
was a bit of a long weekend. We learned some lessons and blah,
but
blah.
When we've talked about it wasn't like too raunchy or like bad. You're not married. It's not like it was a cheating scandal. It's not like you're embarrassing another girl. It's just you. You can just be like,
firing off hammer.
I got a cock. I know it also helps that it's a great dick. But so for all those reasons, I think that Twitter is one of the best things ever. There's also the other side of it where you get access to just the worst of the worst, and people there's the bad side of Twitter that's like you can get like white supremacists like groups and they have their codes that they tweet and that's like bad, truly hateful, despicable shit that it sucks that we're giving them a platform and a way to connect in a serious way. On a not so serious and a more fun way, you're giving a platform to people who think they're funny or they're going to try to be funny or they think they're going to try to be poignant and say some shit.
It's like a podcast.
And then but we're good at it. They're not.
Speak for yourself.
They are decidedly, listen, you can give yourself enough credit to say that you are funnier and more like aware, certainly, and more normal than some of these like blue check journalists who are out here using Twitter.
The bar low. But
super low, but we are well ahead of that. And I mean, I know it was a big deal. I know it was a momentous moment and a sad tragedy. But the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg brought out the worst of people trying to be funny and trying to say some shit. I mean, whenever there's a death or a moment and everyone's got to get their tweets off, you're bound to find a bunch that are like, oh, yikes. But this was insane.
How did you stumble upon these two? These two in particular. Were they viral or did you find them?
One, I'm trying to remember them. Ruth Conda, I believe I was tagged in, and I found, it's not like I found it early, but it had like 1,000 retweets. She hadn't gone private yet. So I think I was on that early. I think I might have been the tipping point for her. I tweeted it and she went private, which I do believe she deserves to be clowned for that, but I don't like thinking like that girl probably had like a shitty night. Basically because of me. And the other one... It's
always tough. Like, I ruined that person.
Right. It's like, I don't feel good about that, And then once I tweeted that, people started sending me the Chadwick one. So if you're unaware of the tweets we're talking about, RBG dies and these tweets get sent out. One was from Alexandra Lee Caps. She was private. She's a blue check, like I think a journalist or something. Just told my 10-year-old daughter about RBG. She had tears in her eyes. And then she did the Wakanda pose and said, Ruth Conda forever, which is the sort of pop culture crossover I can celebrate. Now, if you're for the uninitiated, the normal people out there who are not deep in the Twitter world, I just told my 5-year-old this. My 6-year-old told me, like, how am I supposed to explain to there's this. It started out as real. Like, there were people who actually, how am I supposed to explain this to my kids? Or they told a story that, like, their 7-year-old said this, and then it became something to clout chase where people started making those up, and then it became a joke. Mm-hmm. So this was a guided attempt to take that.
Was her a 10-year-old, she said?
Yes.
No
chance. No. But you can tell, like, some people were like, dude, you know that's not real. It's like, I know it's not real. She was trying to mock that and be funny and poignant about a Twitter, basically like a Twitter meme in a way, right? You know, it's not like
she's not being real?
I don't think
I don't give people the benefit of the doubt anymore.
Okay, well, so this is a debate. I texted Coley because he was the only other one tweeting about it, and I said the Ruth Conda tweet. Do you think that's A, real? Like A, she's
trying to
say that happened. B, she's joking. C, it's a bad attempt at the joke. Mm-hmm. He said he thinks it was like she's trying to do the kid joke thing, and it's just and she thought that people were gonna like it, and she didn't. My first reaction, because if you look at the rest of her tweets before she went private, there was no other jokes. It wasn't like she was like, LOL, like, you get it, guys? Like, I did the kid thing. She was just dead serious. So my first reaction was that was real.
Did you ever retweet someone being like, over your heads or whatever? See, that's usually like when I like
that's
try and make a joke and that people don't get and people like think I'm being serious. I'll usually retweet one person.
The Superman thing, the joke going over your head.
Just to acknowledge, like, yo, I was kidding.
Correct.
And if you didn't retweet that, I think you're serious.
I think so too. So that was my reaction. I'm happy to hear that because then I was like, all right, listen, maybe now I'm being the sucker. I thought best case scenario for her, she's trying to be funny and missed the mark. But I think this was real. I think people like this is clearly a joke, and I was like, I don't think it is.
No, I think she's honestly trying to pretend that her 10-year-old daughter.
Right. And now we all agree that the story is not real.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is Wakanda. I thought it was the black Dennis, the Wakanda, the cross. So that started. So yeah, I think she was like, this is gonna be fire. Like I'm two birds with one stone. It's a callback to Chadwick Boseman because obviously that's the point. Chadwick Boseman also died, and now they've unfortunately both passed. Then this one was just an attempt at a hypothetical fictional scenario. This guy Ryan Parker tweets, RBG greeting Chadwick, quotations, king. Chadwick greeting RBG, queen. And my favorite part about this was the top reply was easily the worst tweet in the world. I mean, those are, I said, this is like the bad tweet Olympics. Like, who you got? This is a showdown, man. And then I'd like to give a shout out. So I was so moved by this. It was Friday night. This struck such a chord. Let me tell you what happened at my house. I was sitting at home. I was eating some dinner, late dinner. And these happened. And I was like, oh my God, these are historic. This is a landmark moment for Twitter. And so I actually did some research, and I found out the numbers on Twitter are staggering. The numbers on Twitter are staggering. Let me get the exact ones because I want to get it right. But as of now it's obviously different, in like 2010 when there was a fraction of the people on Twitter. But the amount of tweets that get sent every day in the year 2020, 5,000 tweets are sent. How often do you think?
Per second.
Per second. That's 500 million tweets a day. And it's been around for 15 years. Now, like I said, obviously in the beginning, not nearly that big. But we're talking about probably like, trillions of tweets. And in my opinion, in one 38-minute span, the two worst tweets of all time are sent. And then I did even follow up. I have to give we have to maybe, I don't know if we have to congratulate him or perhaps offer condolences, but I think Nick has fully been indoctrinated and institutionalized at Barstool Sports because without prompting, without asking, he sent me a deep fake face thing of Chadwick Boseman and RBG, two people who are fucking dead, one of which who just died like mere hours ago, and he sends me RBG's face on Chadwick Boseman doing the Wakanda pose. So I tweeted that out and I said Ruthconda forever. And I was like, arguably I have the third worst tweet of all time because I just tweeted out 2 dead people with a GIF just trying to be funny. But that came from Nick Hamilton.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get in trouble for that one.
And then I tweeted it.
I was waiting.
I was like, I'll get in trouble for it. It was funny as shit though. And then they just start rolling in. It arguably got worse with some of the other like attempts at like, I guess, trying to be poignant. This one came from Seema Sistani. I started crying and my kids were like, "What happened, Mom?" I tell them a hero died. My son says, "You mean like Iron Man?" I said, "No, like Wonder Woman."
Oh my God. These are so bad. How do you fucking look? I have plenty of bad tweets in my day, millions of them. Well, not millions of them, but thousands of them. I have lots and lots and lots of bad tweets, and I would never, in a million years, send something like that.
Never.
That's fucking insane.
That's when you're like, we're normal. Like when your funny gauge is just off. You're just like miscalibrated. You're like, this will be funny, or this will make people go like, "Wow, yeah, bro." And it's like, no, nobody's gonna react to that. And then
it's also so weird just that like the human brain is programmed to be like, oh, a person I respect died. How can I make how can I like get some clout on this?
Yep. And you do it in the form of like, I'm not looking for clout. I like wanted to pay respects. And it's like, it does not matter. You paying respects to this person via Twitter means 0. But these are like these are like kind of like nobodies, no disrespect. But then Jessica Chastain weighs in. And maybe it's even to be expected more so because she's like a Hollywood, liberal, I believe, like hardcore to that side. So maybe, of course, she's doing this. But I thought even worse, like, you worry about your image. You worry about being perceived as funny and all that shit. So maybe you should be a little more savvy. She says, I showed this drawing to my 2-year-old daughter this morning. It's the picture of RBG with the notorious crown because she was the notorious RBG. I showed this picture to my 2-year-old daughter this morning. 2 years old, bro. 2. And asked if she knew who it was. She smiled and said, RBG. Thank you for fighting for all of us.
There's no way that a 2-year-old knows who Ruth Bader Ginsburg is.
So then I go back. Like, you're thinking that she's really trying to be serious. Because, like, this one, 2 years old is so young that I'm like, all right, maybe she was doing the joke. But I don't think she's an actress. She's not like a Twitter degenerate like we are. Right. She doesn't know that's like a thing to mock. She's not being like, I'm going to do I'll mockingly joke like that style of tweet. But she's really trying to. So you think it's really?
Yes, I don't give people the benefit of the doubt anymore. If you make something not funny, I take it at face value. You said something not funny, not interesting, not real. And these tweets are so bad, so awfully bad that they overshadowed, which is one of the worst tweets of all time this weekend from Celtics Nation,
Gordon Hayward,
which was Gordon Hayward in fatigues in a wheelchair talking, and it was like, thank you, Gordon Hayward, for like your service. It was insane. He played with like
the exact one,
like
the exact wording.
He played 4 weeks after he sprained his ankle.
Yeah, I mean he fucked his shit up, but still, yeah. I mean it was an ankle. It was an ankle injury.
It was an ankle sprain.
Oh, well,
not a break.
I thought that was in reference to like his like original.
No,
injury.
He's coming back from an ankle sprain.
They're talking about that injury.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, that was the other one was 2 years ago. He's more than healed.
Well, yeah, I thought like, hey guys, we're over that one. But I thought it was at least when he like broke his fucking shit.
No, I think it was either the last regular season game or like one of the first games in the bubble or second game against the Sixers maybe. I forget, but he sprained his ankle.
Celtics Nation on Twitter, on Facebook said, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Picture of Gordon Hayward in fatigues, in the wheelchair, looking like Ben
the Soldier.
Looking like Ben the
Coming
Soldier.
Home and he's like confused
Sunny.
why people thought
and
he was
and also just like floating with the guard in the background, you know? And the quote from Gordon Hayward said, I'm definitely not 100%. Oh, yeah, it's definitely, yeah. I can't believe I didn't like put 2 and 2 together. I'm definitely not 100%, but it is what it is. This is the Eastern Conference Finals, so I'm going to give us whatever I can.
Which is a fine statement for Gordon Hayward to make, as long as someone doesn't fucking turn him into a soldier returning home from Iraq in a wheelchair. Or Afghanistan, or wherever the hell he was serving. Like, he sprained his ankle, guys.
I can't. I mean, that, like, Gordon Hayward, like, should be able to sue those guys. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? By the way, one other RBG one this came from Amy Edwards. RBG is my son's hero. probably not. He said, take me to D.C. to put flowers on the steps of the Supreme Court. So we're leaving from Oklahoma right now. That one she followed up and said he's 18. So at least it's like plausible that he's old enough. But I mean, if my kid says, I want to go put flowers and we live in Oklahoma, I said, like, I mean, we'll do that over Zoom.
You better mail those things, brother, because I'm not driving from Oklahoma to D.C. in the middle of a pandemic.
This was at 1:35 a.m. We're
And the
leaving
problem
from
with all
Oklahoma
these
right now. She got up at 1:35 in the morning and said, we're driving to D.C. for you, honey. And by the way, if you're not a chick, you're not allowed to stand RBG, okay? I get it. She was absolutely incredible for women everywhere. She did some shit for women, like from property owning to voting to like major things that like I didn't even know were an issue during.
And the problem with all this stuff
old.
is you end up like mocking someone's legacy by like this stupidity.
I honestly,
yes, she's a great person, no doubt.
And now we're talking about this.
Don't be a fucking idiot about it, hoping to get retweets of it. Like, yeah, just like I don't know, just say like rest in peace, RB. How fucking hard is that?
Sure. Or you can list all her accomplishments. You can even say, but like to once you joking or not, trying to pass it off as real or mocking the format of the tweet. If you're talking about your 10-year-old did XYZ, you're the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst, especially if you're trying to pass it off as real. If you really want me to believe that, like, your 4-year-old had tears in her eyes because of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, go kill yourself.
And you're just raw, and you're fucking you're not ruining her legacy, obviously.
But again,
you're changing the conversation on Twitter,
exactly.
Than from what it should be.
When I saw the tweet, that was just a list of like she ruled on this, she voted on this, she established this, and it was all things that I thought went out the window during like the Civil War, and it was still a problem for women in her lifetime. Like we should be talking about that instead. We're talking about the Ruth Conda forever, which is I might get a Ruth Conda tattoo. That's how good that is. And by the way, don't forget, this is coming off the week where we had the Big Ten tweets that I never asked to be a hero in the fight for Big Ten football. I just wanted to watch the Badgers play. That's the thing about heroes. We never asked to be in these moments. We just happen to find ourselves here. Thanks to everyone who joined the fight. And then there was the one about 9/11 and D-Day. And then there was the girl who said this is the darkest day in Big Ten history, even though there was a full fucking.
People shouldn't be allowed.
People shouldn't be allowed to tweet.
Strip the First Amendment. You don't. I'm calling for an end.
Honestly, you're right.
You don't get to say whatever you want. Not anymore.
And whichever we talked about it with Cal Penn came out already.
Yes.
Yep. We talked about it with Cal Penn too. Whatever amendment lets you vote and whatever amendment lets you speak. Get rid of all of them.
No,
people do not deserve to speak their mind, and they certainly don't deserve to be able to control the fate of our country because people are stupid. There should be a Twitter test. Would you sign up for a different app that had, if we could somehow do this, that like filtered out the like dumb and unfunny people, or is part of the fun of Twitter finding those?
No, I think it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
It's part of the mental anguish it puts you through, but it does help to laugh occasionally. Be like, look, at least I'm not this bad.
I do love the new ratio, by the way, because now that Twitter measures the quote tweets.
Yeah.
When you see like 136 retweets, 5,296 quote tweets, because everyone's going, "What the fuck is this?" It's amazing. The ratio is deeper and more specific than ever. What a week for the bird, man! What a moment for.
Is this a new thing? The bird?
I call it the bird. Yeah. The bird's my friend. The bird is. But I mean, God, those people are. When that happens. When you send a tweet, I've sent bad tweets, not that category of bad tweets.
Correct.
But when you fire off a tweet that I've never fired off one being like, got him, and then it's bad. But I'll just fire off some shit like, whatever. And people are like, dude, what? That feeling of just like, oh fuck, the horse is out of the barn.
It's worse than sending like a risky sext.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck it. Like this, like you turn your phone off, you throw it across the room. It weighs on your psyche for a long time. It changes you as a person.
It does.
When you send a tweet that's getting dunked on, it changes you as a person forever.
Forever. You'll remember that forever.
Yeah. It significantly alters who you are.
I also do want to say you got to keep the dunk like threshold high. Like you can't dunk on like things that don't really deserve it. You know what I mean? Like these are gonna stand out in my mind.
Yeah.
So when we drag someone, make sure they're draggable. If you tweet about a girl and everyone's like, oh, like horny police, like no, you're just tweeting about a female. That's not. You don't deserve to get like dragged for that. You tweet out like a prediction that was wrong. Like it happens. You know, you gotta wait for people to be like proud about being funny or thinking that they like outsmarted everyone, and then you drag. Keep your dunking threshold high, folks. But boy, those people, they had to be sitting at home just
They should.
what
You
the
should.
fuck have I
You
done?
should lose your Twitter account.
You should at least
You
lose
should-
your blue check.
If you are dunked on to that extent, you should lose your Twitter.
Or how about
privileges.
at least a suspension? You know when you get that thing that says like you have to like
Have we reported these tweets? We should report.
we should. We should.
They should be reported.
Usually when you get Twitter, when you go to Twitter jail, it says like, here's the tweet in question. You have to delete it. And now like you have to serve your 12, 18, whatever
should have to
hour
pin it.
suspension. Yeah.
You should have to pin your tweet.
Right.
Your bad one. So when people look at your Twitter, your profile,
That's a good one.
they're like, they're not worth
Like we're
following.
not going to
They-
suspend you. We're going to let this be active. But it's like a scarlet letter.
Yeah,
we're gonna brand you.
it automatically becomes like your fucking
We might
header
have
picture.
to brand you with that tweet. You burn it into your chest, and every time you take your shirt off, like, what's that? It's like, well, one time I said my 10-year-old was crying because of RBG, and Twitter made me brand it.
Yeah, like Inglorious Bastards.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
not. It's not branded. It's carved into you.
We just fixed Twitter, man. Yeah, Twitter it's good, it's bad, it can be fun, it can be ugly, but Fubo TV ain't nothing bad about it. It's all good, no bad, and it's the future. Because everyone's been talking about cutting the cable, cutting the cord for years. And really, up until recently, it was not feasible. It was not possible. And now, because of people like Fubo TV, it really is. If you're sick of cable, you're sick of paying, I pay probably like $160, and I pay a couple more. It's probably like $200 for my cable. And I don't want to do that anymore. And Fubo, but I have to. At least I thought I did because I wanted sports and I wanted live news and like regular TV. And I thought, you can only get streaming services, so I'm going to miss a lot. Not anymore. Fubo TV comes with the live sports, the news, the primetime TV, no complicated contract, no cable company to deal with. I mean, do you remember like my fights with Time Warner back in the day?
Yeah.
Like, God, Time Warner like borderline ruined my life for a few years, and now that's a thing of the past. That's gonna be me. Like, gather around, children. I'm gonna tell you about a time you used to have to call the cable company and fight with them.
I'm literally doing it as we speak.
Are you?
So
Yeah,
I
in
need
the
to
new
switch
spot.
over to Fubo.
Just go to
TV.
Fubo, man. $65 a month. That's it. Cable's like $200. You're gonna get everything you need for $65. It's incredible. Same channels, same everything. You get what you need. And let's be honest, how many channels do you really watch? I watch
3.
I watch SNY for the Mets, MSG for the Knicks. I do want the Yes Network to like watch the Yankees when I need to.
I basically do ESPN.
And I don't even think I watch ESPN anymore. I mean, I'll need it for like primetime games, but like other than that,
Yeah, I watch the-
I'm never tuning in. I'm not tuning into like the ESPN programming anymore. Like the shows. I think I just need like the 3 local sports channels for me. And I think that's it. And I'm paying $200 for that. You go to Fubo, you can get everything you need, plus the streaming services and all that. And you don't have to pay for a DVR. You don't have to pay for installation. These are just things that you plug it in, you're good to go. You can have DVR, rewind. It's crazy that cable's like, DVR is an extra. Do you want DVR? Do you want to be able to rewind? Yeah. Bare minimum, bro. So anyway, Fubo has made it actually feasible to cut the cord now. You're not just going to be some hipster doofus trying to prove a point. NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, Premier League, La Liga, college sports, all of it. And right now, if you don't believe it, you can try it out for 7 days for free. Risk-free tryout. Go to FuboTV.com/KFC. This is actually a great deal. You get the 7-day free trial, which really is important to prove to yourself that, because it's like jumping in the deep end. It's like, I'm really going to not have a cable.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And so you can do the trial, keep your cable, and then if you don't like it, whatever, you're still good. And you get 15% off your first month. So that's what, like 15, what's 15% of 65, John?
Fuck off.
You're going to be saving like $15 probably. So like $50 for your first month. So go to FuboTV.com/KFC. That's FUBO TV.com/KFC. Get the free trial and 15% off your first month. Today's episode, we got the legendary, truly legendary Colin Quinn on the show. You saw his ATI. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on YouTube. It is over Zoom, so it loses a little bit of its pizzazz, but Colin Quinn's one of those guys. I just want to hear his thoughts on like everything. I I want to just be like, what's your thoughts on bottled water? What's your thoughts on Oreos? What's your thoughts on?
I mean, his story where he
everything.
tells about doing Bobby De
Niro?
Niro's Bobby De Niro, I'm his friend. Robert De Niro's fucking birthday party, 60th birthday, I believe it was.
It's incredible.
Is an all-time tale.
I actually have a theory that, I mean, it's not that. I'm sure many people think this, but like comedians are always still pretty cool because like they get rich and famous, but they'll still bomb. Like once you're an actor, I guess you can have a bomb movie, but like you just like forget about that. You know, it's just like, okay, that movie bombed, whatever. On to the next one. Once you're really established, next blockbuster, next Oscar, whatever. When you're a comic, I mean, Colin Quinn is as, established as it gets. We talk about it in the interview. He's the comic's comic. You ask any comedian who's your favorite comic, they say two people, David Tell, Colin Quinn. For whatever reason, he actually explains what his, hypothesis is, why he believes that to be true. But he also tells a story about doing an event for Robert De Niro's birthday, and he just, like, I don't want to give it away, but he bombed so bad something happened to him that is impossible. And, he was humbled in that moment. Like, yeah, I got a tough crowd and I did these movies and I made this money. But, like, I had a whole crew of very famous people all laughing at me being like, yo, you stink. And it just keeps you in check, So a great interview with Colin where he decided to sit about 100 feet away from his computer for Zoom. Would have appreciated Colin maybe popping in a microphone or some headphones or not sitting a football field away from his laptop. But hey, whatever. He's Colin. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. We'll also get into our voicemails. We'll do our top fives in a minute. But first, this podcast is coming to you live from Barstool HQ in Manhattan, New York, which has been officially declared an anarchist jurisdiction.
It is one of my favorite titles of all time.
Ever. Three places in the entire country right now. Seattle and Portland, which they're also mocking this, by the way. But Portland deserves the title a little bit more. If you've seen some of the videos coming out of Portland, it's a little bit of anarchy. But New York City is the third on the list, an anarchist jurisdiction because, quote, we have permitted violence and destruction of property like unchecked. Like we have
the riots and the protests were like
over
3 months ago.
I would actually imagine. I bet you this is like they put the paperwork in,
maybe more than that,
to have them be declared anarchist, and then like it just went through because of politics and like red tape. I mean, this is a total political chess move. Basically, if you have been declared an anarchist jurisdiction, that allows the president or other federal branches of the government to cut off funding. So they can be like, we're not giving New York any money. We're not giving you any assistance or resources because you are an anarchist jurisdiction and you're allowing violence and destruction of property to go on unchecked. You are permitting that sort of behavior. So that's all it really means.
I'm wearing a black sweatshirt. That's about the most anarchist thing that's happening in New York City.
I mean, I'm wearing a black one as well. Sad Boy season. The shirts are out now. The gear's out now. I had a black hat on and I had my hood up, and then my mask was also black. And I was like, I look like an agent provocateur. But what was very funny was yesterday, as you listen to this, it was a picturesque day in Manhattan, like blue skies as far as you can see.
Dude, it's been like that for like weeks. I've never loved Manhattan more than I love it now.
It's great.
It's fucking perfect.
I went to the
aren't
park.
A ton of people.
There were kids playing, dogs barking, people eating ice cream, guys playing music in the park. I was like, this is an anarchist jurisdiction.
It's the craziest thing we do is we fucking have tables in the street. Mm-hmm. That's as
You're
nuts
taking
as
up
it
the
is
block.
here.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's amazing.
It's so awesome that I love the term anarchist.
I hope we don't shake it. I want to keep that term forever.
I will always describe. I'm gonna start writing it just as anarchist jurisdiction, New York.
Yeah,
it's not New York.
Or like when people say the Big Apple or the concrete jungle, it's the anarchist jurisdiction.
Big anarchy.
That's a great term. That feels more like it's a good term for a person. Like, yo, that's the big anarchy over there. But yeah, we are the big anarchy. Welcome. I filmed 1 Minute Man on that, and I told Nick I probably couldn't have filmed the video that I filmed even like 6 months ago, but certainly a couple of years ago. I'm still getting nervous, like with people watching, and I don't want to be the asshole in public and stuff like that. And I had a helmet on. I had that Irish curling stick, which, by the way, there's this like one of the guys who sells trees on the block. You know, like when you walk right out on 28th Street.
Oh, yes.
He was like, "What is that stick, man?" First of all, he was like, yo, man. And I was like, sometimes I just assume they're homeless, you know? And then I was like, this is just a person who's just asking me a question. Like, give him the respect and respond to him. So I was like, what's up, man? He's like, what is that stick? So I was like, I don't know. It's like a fucking Irish curling stick, whatever. And then on the way back, we saw him again. He's like, yo, let me get one of those, man. I was like, I don't have these things just lying around.
I didn't invent it. I'm not the creator. I'm not up at the office like whittling these.
Yeah. But I did this video where I was mocking, the lack of anarchy, and I'm like around these kids and around these old people. And at one point, I dropped to my knees in Madison Square Park, and I go, anarchy! And I was just like, people are probably watching me going like, fuck, there is anarchy.
Yeah, this is an anarchist jurisdiction. Which is I'm never going to be able to say smoothly.
It is a mouthful too.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun. Anarchist jurisdiction. But I mean, we had the New York is dead thing. We had that battle. And we're just taking it a step further. It's not dead. It's alive. It's just pure anarchy.
It's chaos here. It's chaos in the streets.
I wonder. Like, I need Cuomo to like. He's kind of like responded back, but I need him to be like, you want to see anarchy? I'll give you fucking anarchy. Let's go real New York on you. So shout out to everybody who lives in New York. We are the anarchists. I heart anarchy.
I do love it.
The big anarchy. We got to send like postcards like greetings from the big anarchy.
There is like a bit of a difference where it's like at night.
Yes.
At night you're like, all right, this is like there's no one here.
I was walking last night and I had my head like buried in my phone, like on Twitter. I was reading tweets about the Pats and the Seahawks. And I was like, all right, I probably shouldn't do it. Like a couple guys like passed me that I was like, they could have just like clocked me in the face and robbed me and I wouldn't have like had my head on a swivel at all. Like, yeah. But those are things that like kind of have always been true in New York, and they're just exacerbated by the fact that there's nobody around.
Right.
There's no.
It's like how I always
there's nobody to
described
help.
Philly when we were there.
Yeah.
It was like the homeless. There was the same amount of homeless people. It was
else.
just there's no regular people. So it's like, all right, this is a little weird. It's a little like Walking Dead-esque.
Definitely.
If you're at like 2:00 in the morning, yeah, the streets are pretty empty. It's a little
weird.
creepy.
It's a little creepy. But like anarchy to me implies like we're doing Molotov cocktails.
Right.
We're doing I mean that's why when I saw Portland was complaining about it. I was like, I mean, guys, you're getting thrown into unmarked minivans and shit. You're like, you got your own like designated areas of like designed anarchy. I think you kind of deserve it. I don't know about Seattle, but I think in any city there's parts that are bad and there's parts that are good. And but right now, like I feel like we had those really hot nights where people were getting shot and shit, and like even that's kind of subsided. It's just like autumn in New York City. It's sad boy season. We're not causing anarchy. We're just fucking listening to sad songs at dark bars, drinking dark liquor. We're not bothering anybody.
No one whatsoever.
Certainly not anarchy.
Except,
shit.
actually, I want to get. There was a situation last week. I want to give a shout out to my girlfriend because she's a badass who don't take no shit.
Yeah.
Some dude in Home Goods was like, or TJ Maxx.
We talked about was it Home Goods? I hope it was Home Goods because we were talking about Home Goods last time and said Home Goods is no good. I think I was proven right. This was
some guy
ladies,
walked
be
by
careful.
her, and because it's happened with Casey too, where like Casey was like that dude with a boner on the subway, like following her, and
but at least Casey's a bird. At least Casey's like 6'3". She can handle herself. Your girl's like 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds, and was ready to fucking bark on this dude.
Some dude, I wasn't there. I was at the office. I was working, and she was in Home Goods, and some dude walked by her. And she had headphones in, and he said, I want to fuck that pussy. And she was like, there's no way he said that. Like, he was mumbling.
Could
She's like,
not possibly have
"There's-
actually said that.
That didn't happen. And he walked to the end of the aisle and then walked back. And he goes, and I want to fuck those tits too. And that's when the dog got off the leash.
It is a funny way, by the way, to be like, oh, and also,
And also,
if I am going to sexually harass you, let me make sure I cover all my bases.
and she just started laying into him, caused a fucking scene at Home Goods.
That one,
apparently.
how she described it, like a security guard or a manager or whatever came over and she said, do you want to tell him what you said or should I?
Yeah, like a little fucking
Woo!
infant.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It's like, and he was just like, no, ma'am.
He's
no.
like, what? And she's like, keep saying what? Keep saying what? I fucking know what you said.
And the other girl who was there was like, I fucking heard it too.
Yeah.
The girls rallied against this creep.
That's some anarchy shit.
Yeah, you want anarchy? Fucking watch out for a girl like that, man. That's pure anarchy. That is just some.
I don't understand,
I know
guys.
that stuff
I, like,
happens, but I can't believe
between
it.
that happening to Casey and that, those both happened in the same week. And like, look, I know men are pieces of shit, and I know we're trash and all that
I mean,
stuff.
I think some of that's almost like mental illness when it goes that far. But in general,
like, what do you get out of that?
aren't you embarrassed? You
What
know?
like who what do you get?
It's probably a power thing. Probably like
You feel power by fucking saying somebody you want to have sex with them?
Probably.
You're a fucking loser.
Fucking loser.
All guys are fucking losers.
Men are trash.
I was very upset about that. I've calmed down. It happened last week. But like I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, that is some like truly despicable. Because like in that guy's mind, it's like he's probably like, well, I'm not like a rapist. Like I didn't do it. I would never touch anybody. I wouldn't hurt anybody. But it's like I'll just run around saying I want to slide in your pussy and in your tits. Like, oh.
What? I honestly don't even know what to say about it because it just boggles the mind. How you get power out of that? You feel cool. You feel like turned on. Like what is wrong with you?
Maybe he thought it was a pickup line. Maybe he thought that she'd be like, oh, I've been looking for someone to slide in this pussy.
Right.
You want to go out on a date? Fucking trash Ola, man. That's
if you're a guy and even like consider saying things like that, fucking kill yourself.
And then that
I
is
genuinely mean that.
Yeah,
I'm
actually
encouraging suicide.
Yeah.
If that's something that you like think is a normal way to act or behave,
you bring no value to the society.
Kill yourself.
Yeah, just get it over with.
I can't tweet something like this, but I can say it on a podcast.
Yeah.
If that's something you think is endearing, entertaining, if you get
funny,
something
sexy,
out of that, like,
hot, whatever.
fucking kill yourself.
How?
In the seppuku.
Ha.
Like don't be a fucking coward and do it in the bath. So
you know he
fucking
would be,
drift
though.
away.
You know he
do
would
it
be.
in a violent manner. You scumbag.
I wish that she killed him.
I do too.
I wish
I
that-
don't know if I could date a girl who killed somebody.
You think? I think I could.
I don't know.
If it was justified.
I think it would weigh on me. Even if it was justified, I think it would weigh on me.
Yeah.
A little bit. Where I'm
Oh,
like, I
definitely.
don't
Listen,
know,
I'm not
man.
going to be like pumped about it. But if I was dating a girl and everything else was all good, and then she was like, I got a confession, like I killed a guy, I'd be like, okay, well, why? It's like, well, he told me he was going to slide in my pussy at Home Goods. I would like it to be a little more self-defense. Like danger needs to be imminent. You're right. But I think if it was justified in that regard, I think I'll get over it. I was talking to a girl once. She killed a rabbit. She found a rabbit that was like had been like attacked by another animal or whatever. So it was like a mercy killing. But she smashed its head with a rock.
Oh, I think you've mentioned this to me before.
It was like
that's
tough.
I get it. You're Dwight Schrute. You're like, I grew up on a farm, and that's how
she told me she cried after. So I was like, all right, that's good. If you were just like, wow, and just like going about your day.
What's for lunch?
Yeah. She was upset about it, but she had to do the right thing. I was like, wow, okay. Let's go fuck. Whatever. You bunny killer. All right, top fives?
Let's do top five.
Top fives today are brought to you by Solo Stove. I got this delivered to my apartment. I'm going to find a way. I've got like a little bit of a backyard. My mom and dad have a backyard. I might give it to them. I'm going to find a way to enjoy this. If you've got a backyard or an outdoor area that's big enough to whether you're camping in, like if you're going to go camping, you got it. If you want to just like hang out in the backyard and you're just chilling, the Solo Stove is for you. It's a way to have that roaring fire. And that's honestly, I've said it, I think I just said it recently. When in the summertime, if you're hanging out by a pool, you're doing something, or a body of water. It's like if I told you, let's just go sit in a parking lot and drink and talk, you'd be like, what the fuck? If there's a little body of water in the middle of us, then it counts as doing something.
For sure.
Same thing in the fall and in the winter. You got a fire, or you're sitting at a fireplace, or you have like a chimenea or something. Now you're doing something. So the Solo Stove, not only is it going to be like it provides heat, not only can you do a little maybe marshmallow roasting, but it's actually going to be like a social. It's going to help your social life. So especially now, when it's like, God, just put down the phone and like just look at the fire. I'm one of those people who get like mesmerized by
100%.
We got to do mushrooms and look at a
hypnotized.
fire.
What'd you say?
We gotta do some mushrooms and look at a fire. That would get me going. Because even just the regular ones, like the crackling, and you see like the blue and maybe a little bit of white, and I'm like, whoa. So I could really get down with sitting around a fire watching it, and that's what the Solo Stove can do for you. It's stainless steel. So it's all like regulated and safe. You get the right airflow. It's gonna burn efficiently, burn longer, because those are things. I was talking to Clem about it the other day. He tries to build fires in the backyard for his kids to like roast marshmallows and shit. And he just takes newspaper and he just keeps adding it. It's like because newspaper, it burns bright. Oh, actually, you know what? No, it wasn't. It wasn't even that he was storytelling. It was the most like apropos analogy I've ever heard, talking about the Mets and the Wilpons and how they're fake and fugazi, and other franchises build the fire properly with the stove, with the wood, so that it burns like forever. And Clem just and the Wilpons, they just throw fire on, so it burns hot, and the kids are like, wow, and then it just burns back down. That's the dumb Mets fans watching the Mets. So when you don't know what you do, you're not a fucking Boy Scout. You're not going to be able to keep a perfect fire roaring. The Solo Stove is going to make sure that it burns efficiently and long, and it minimizes the smoke, because that's tough. I do hate when you're sitting by the fire outside in like a bonfire or chimenea, and it's just like you go inside and you just like smoke.
It stays with you for like a week.
Oh, it's in your hair and shit. Oh, terrible. So the Solo Stove minimizes that while still getting a hot fire. And if you want to do, like I said, campfires, backyard fires, you want it to be big and necessary if you're out in the woods, or if you're just like hanging around having a good time, Solo Stove is for you. And right now you can get $10 off when you use the promo code KFC at checkout. It's solostove.com. $10 off when you use the promo code KFC, and gather around the fire, kids. Solostove.com, promo code KFC. Top 5 saddest songs of all time. You are king of sad boy season. You have an entire list out right now on Spotify. Is that on your at Fight Barstool?
I think it's just my name.
Okay, John Feidelberg, sad boy season. It's like 2 zillion songs long.
It is 8.5 hours, I think. Something like that.
You're on a work shift and you want to just cry the whole time. Fight says you covered. So you're up first. I think that this can kind of go like a couple different directions. I think there are songs where it's like the lyrics are like sad. I think there are songs that can be like associated with sadness, or just emotional. It doesn't have to be like, here's a song about someone who's fucking dead, but it can, sometimes even like a song that has like a positive message can.
I have one on my list that's
melancholy.
like weird.
Yeah. Okay. So start it off. Your number 1 pick.
My number 1 pick. Okay, I'll go Whiskey Lullaby. I mean,
Oh my God.
it has to be Whiskey Lullaby.
Actually, that just made me think of one, by the way. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
It's just, I mean, like that's it. That's it. That's it.
That's the saddest song I think of all time.
I would argue that it could definitely be. It is. There's so many lines in it, but the one that always sticks out with me was like she put him out like the midnight end of a burning cigarette is fucking dark and sad.
That imagery is tough.
It is.
That hurts. I can't.
And it's weird because it's fucking Brad Paisley. Like I would never think of Brad Paisley. I mean, Brad Paisley does like fucking. I'm so much cooler online. Like Brad Paisley, I don't traditionally think of him as like a sad artist.
He's got so much like happy country. That one came out right when he did the Carrie Underwood duet, where it was kind of a sad love song, but like it was still like kind of poppy.
Yeah,
but
I've always thought of him as more of a, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's just I don't know his fucking what's the word I'm looking for here? His catalog that well, but like I think I know a pretty good amount of Brad Paisley, and I don't think he has any other song that's even remotely close to Whiskey Lullaby.
That sparked in my head for some reason. Remember when Dave did Wicked Games by Chris Isaac?
Yeah.
It's not Wicked Games, but doesn't Chris Isaac also have something that's like terribly depressing?
I don't know the answer.
There's a song like associated with that where I think there's like a mother and a daughter or something. Yeah. It's a daughter. Something about shoes.
Please, sir, can you buy these shoes?
Isn't that
Little
super
Red
sad?
Shoes?
Yeah.
Is that Chris Isaac? That's not Chris Isaac.
Not Chris Isaac,
original.
but for whatever reason, something like that.
That's a Christmas song. It's a weird Christmas song. Like, please, sir, can you buy these shoes?
Isn't that super sad?
Mama says there's not much time.
Yeah. That might be up there on my list. My number 1 sad song ever, Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton.
That's about his son falling out of a window, right?
Yeah,
5-year-old son?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Fucking fell out of a like skyscraper, like pushed the fucking window out. I mean, that is. That's a sad song. Just like you can write a sad song about like I'll see you in heaven sort of thing, but when it's like, I mean, how do you even like perform that song? Or like, I get you're an artist and it's like cathartic and shit, but like, how do you even get in the booth and sing that or perform that live and get through it with every time you're thinking about your 5-year-old son fall out of a fucking window?
I would imagine it took a lot of takes.
I think it was like, wasn't like the nanny supposed to be watching him and wasn't too, so there's blame to go around. You blame yourself.
I mean, there's always blame with a fucking dead child. like that is.
But someone gets sick, you get sick.
Yeah.
It's like we could have stopped this and we didn't. It's a good song. It's a great
good-
song.
it's a very good
I don't
song,
think
yeah.
I can listen to it though. So
I'll go 2. I'll go Cats in the Cradle.
mm-hmm.
That one made me think of Cats in the Cradle. Cats in the Cradle is it's very sad, but it's also like particularly sad because like I don't know if I'm gonna say it actually. It's just like my dad used to think of it.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's a very like father son thing. I mean, I feel like dads are like my dad, especially like the last generation, is very like tough and they're not gonna show emotion. But his dad was always what made him like when his dad died or anything. When I watch anything that's dad related, Field of Dreams, shit like that, he's always like waterworks. So it's like dads get
once a dad like my dad told me that song is sad to him. So like therefore
that's
it's fucking sad to me.
If your dad is sad by something, that is like
I remember I was like a kid. Like, he didn't even have to tell me that either. Like
right.
It was like I was like 7. I was like, sit down and listen to this. This song makes me sad. I'm
yeah.
like, the fuck, man?
Yikes.
Dude, I just want to go play recess. Why are we doing this right now? We're on our way to T-ball, man.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go a little recent just to keep it like modern here. I think that The One by Taylor Swift is gut wrenching.
How about this? Disagree. I think it's an uplifting song.
This is like your fucking Manchester by
Which
the Sea
is
thing.
correct take.
No, it's
That's
not.
a correct take. Yes, it is.
I mean, how could you say like you could have been the one and like it would have been good and it's not?
it's I think it's like I'm happy you're doing okay at least.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
I think it's like we could have been great, but like we're both doing good now, and like I'm
yeah,
happy
yeah,
about
no
that.
doubt. Well, but I actually think that's like more sad.
I
think that
get
makes it
that.
even double sad. I think if you're just like, this breakup has crushed me, it's like you'll get over it. And it's like in this case, it's like we did get over it, but I still sit here and think like,
What if we didn't?
right? And like all the times that were good were awesome, but the times that were bad were just too much. And the throwing pennies in the pool, roaring.
Look
20s.
at you on the T Swizzy.
Yeah, that's the only. I really don't listen to her music because it's too sad for me. There's probably a bunch of others on her album that I think would probably.
I mean,
make my list.
Folklore is. I'm gonna have to
That's
have
tough.
2 Taylor Swift songs on here.
I it's not even fun.
I have so many songs I want to put on here. I have so many songs I want to put
The
on
one
here.
I actually is the only song I listen to. I don't really like the rest of her album. I like the one. I think that's a good
What's
song.
it like being incredibly wrong?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know.
Even
It just doesn't do
Pitchfork
it
says
for
it's a
me.
great album.
just
Pitchfork
doesn't-
says Pitchfork thinks like
Well,
fucking.
I think it's too sad. First of all, so I haven't been able to really even give it a shot. I don't know. Her style of music just doesn't do it for me. But the one I think is good. But it's like, I mean, anybody who's ever had it, like, well, like it could have been. I really think it makes it more sad that everyone's moved on and like everyone's good.
I get that.
It's
angle.
almost like when somebody dies and you're like, when the funeral's over, you almost like the funeral because you're like, there's still something there.
Yes.
And then when it's over, it's just like, well, now you got to live your life without it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we've both moved on. We're both good, but that means we are truly done. Oh, that's fucking, that makes it double sad, bro.
All right, I mean, that's fair. That's a fine take. Okay, number 3, I'm going to go. Number 3, I'm gonna go with.
This is so hard for you. Like this is like asking me to pick out like favorite sneakers or like my worst Mets moment. It's like there's so many. I don't know what to pick.
Okay, I'll go number 3. Fuck, I don't. Fuck. Fuck. It's so fucking hard.
That's funny. What? This is such an subjective one where like everyone's always like, dude, how could you not have this or that? It's like this is a personal one for you that only you are gonna be mad about.
All right, I'll go George Jones. He stopped loving her today.
I don't know that song, but that's that title. That's sad enough. Right
He
there.
died.
Ugh.
That's the only way he ever stopped loving her.
Oh my god. Christmas.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's a very sad song.
That is really tough. Really tough. George.
That one like hurt you. Like you.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Fucking A.
It's all about like the pictures are still up and everything's still up and he's just dead. And that's why he doesn't love her anymore.
Damn. That'll make. I don't know if I'm ever gonna listen to that. My next pick. This is my third pick. I will go. This is a song I've talked about it a lot recently, but I'll almost cry every time I listen to it. Fast Car, Tracy Chapman. That song to me is just like. There is such an element of life that is so fucking tough and hard. And we don't even really live it. Like we got it pretty good, Like that, like the picture she paints of like, I don't want to live where I live, but I can't get out of here. I can't make anything for myself because I've got a dying dad, and my mom left him, which like she had to do, but now I'm gonna take care of him. And then we do get out of the city, we do get in the fast car, and now we're together, and we're kind of miserable too because that's just how life goes. Yeah. It's sad because it's, first of all, it's just so good, but second of all, it's sad because it's true. Where it's just like, yup, this shit sucks. And even when you like, go for it, you'll just fall back in that same like that same rut. Ugh, god damn. Third pick, fourth pick. You're getting down to it. This makes it tough.
I gotta fuck.
Which direction? Because there's a lot of songs that are like, I wouldn't put this on my list, but like "Sound of Silence," like
I don't know that song.
"Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend."
Oh,
it's like you play that when it's
that's
a
not
sad
to
moment,
me
but
anymore because of fucking old school.
Right. Well, and just in general to me, it's like every time there's a meme or a video or whatever. But there are songs like that like associated with sadness. "Landslide's" one of them. You think it's like a sad song, but it doesn't like resonate with me. Those kind of things. I feel like these are all ones that like hit home for you.
Yeah,
or
this
an
one
individual personally.
This one actually has a happy ending, but like in high school, I listened to it when I like broke up, and like it's Blake Shelton, Austin, and it's like the chorus is like, if you're calling about the car, I sold it. If this is Tuesday night, I'm bowling. If you got something to sell, you're wasting your time. I'm not buying. If it's anybody else, wait for the tone. You know what to do. And P.S. If this is Austin, I still love you. I fucking smoked that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You did. Got every word right, too. I'm looking at him right now.
And it's just about a guy who just, the same thing, like a girl he loves and the ending is happy. She calls him back.
The telephone fell to the counter. She heard, but she couldn't believe what kind of man would hang on that long. What kind of love that must be. She waited 3 days, and then she tried again, but she didn't know what to say. But she heard 3 rings, and then it's Friday. I mean, it is this, yeah. Blake. And he's young
I have a
in that.
Blake and a fucking Brad Paisley. Like those
yeah.
are two like country singers, like stadium country singers. But
Right.
for some reason,
They're like the cold beer, like hot nights type of guys.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a little bit of a corny pick here. More about like when you hear this song and what it's kind of associated with. Because I don't think I've ever listened to this song any other time than like a bittersweet kind of melancholy moment. Time of Your Life, Green Day.
Ooh.
It's exclusively like it's so sad, but it's not. It's like exclusively like your 8th grade graduation slideshow where you're like, I'm never going to see these people again. It's like, you're going to see them first period next year because you're a freshman in high school. Calm down. That's the official song of you're young and you think you're going through something sad, but you're not. Like you're graduating high school. You're going to college. It's okay, dude. Don't cry. But that's it. It's the graduation slideshow song. With the,
I remember that in 5th grade.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was oh no, 5th grade. I had to go to vitamin C graduation, and then I forget what year, but yes, I've also.
That's a good song that is
montages.
probably like cornified. Like it's become corny in a way. But when they wrote it, it was probably this like awesome acoustic like poignant song. But yeah, the official like I'm sad because like I'm breaking up with my friends. It's like no, you're fucking not.
All right, last one. I have like what is like definitively one of the saddest songs of all time. I kind of want to sneak a Taylor in here, but I can't not have this.
Gotta be true. Gotta be real to yourself.
It's Jason Isbell, Elephant,
Which
is about watching a loved one waste away from cancer.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
It is like, I mean, like it is just like if you just Google Jason Isbell, Elephant, it's like. Everyone just knows
cancer song.
It is the saddest song of all time. And he has like this like quote here. Jason Isbell told Uncut Magazine about this defiant, intimate witnessing of a loved one dying of cancer, whose inspiration dates back to before he met his wife, singer-songwriter Amanda Shires. I was living above this bar in Sheffield, Alabama for a long time before I moved to Nashville with Amanda. And I was dating this girl who worked at the bar, he recalled. I told her she couldn't get too attached to the people sitting around the bar because they're going to disappear. And sure enough, within a couple of years, half the regulars were gone. It's a hard song for me to get through some nights. It's just a really sad song.
Fuck. Dude, just write like a party song. Shit. All right, last pick for me. I'm just gonna run through like these are just other things that popped into my mind. I jotted down. Candle in the Wind. That was that's the official like a celebrity died song. Sound of Silence we talked about. Everybody Hurts by REM. I don't find that's like that's like this song you play when you're almost trying to be funny about something being sad. Landslide was one. Mr. Lonely when we talked to Akon that one. See You Again is like the official new age song of like if somebody dies, we're gonna play that. That's the Wiz Khalifa.
That's also
Tony
one of
Cruz
those
song.
that's so overdone. It's almost
That's
like
what I mean.
joking.
Same thing as Everybody Hurts, where it's like you're trying to be funny with it. Oh, this one almost would have made the cut for me. One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men. It's just about like one sweet day, I'll see you again once you die. And that one's tough. That one actually that's my actual pick for sadness. But I'm gonna go with a rap song here because I want this is a song that you definitely don't know. But I feel like sad rap songs are pretty like hard to come by. And this is a good rap song, so it's not when someone's like rapping, it's hard to be like emotional. Usually it's like a slow guitar or a piano or whatever. But there's a song by the Lost Boys called Renee, and it's just about like this guy who like meets his like ghetto princess, and they fall in love, and then she just gets fucking shot and she's dead. And it's just like, he's talking about like everything they have in common, and they smoke blunts together, and like she's sexy, and they fuck the way he wants to fuck, and all this. And then like he's like, I get a beep from her one day. I call her up, like it's not her, it's her mom, and she says like, Mr. Cheeks, meet me at the hospital. Renee's been shot, and he's like, and by the time I reach the hospital, they tell me Mr. Cheeks, Renee's gone. That's it. Like it's like because it's rap, it's so fast, but it's just like he met his like queen, and then she gets shot, and she's fucking dead. I don't know if it's a true story or not, but I gotta give it up to them because I remember being like that was like my favorite song when I was younger, like young. It was like the first album I ever bought was Legal Drug Money by Lost Boys. And I remember being like, listening to like fucking California Love and like rap songs like Gin and Juice, and then it's like, oh, this guy met a girl and she gets shot and she's fucking dead.
Dude, I remember that the only like sad rap song I can even think of, and I don't even know if it's sad or horrifying, but Immortal Technique was I remember
what's that song?
I forget what it is, but I mean the guy rapes his grandmother, I believe.
Yeah, that's dark.
It is.
That's not
I
even
remember
sad.
like
That's like what the fuck?
I remember like working out at, like it was like a fucking like football team workout, and we're all like in the fucking gym like, playing this song was playing, and I somehow for some reason started listening to the lyrics, and I was just like,
wait a
I was like,
second.
what the fuck are we listening to right now? Like he rapes and kills his grandmother, I believe, right?
God.
Or he killed himself? I forget. It's a fucking. I don't think I've ever gone back to listen to it. It's a fucking horrifying song.
Oh, you know what's a good one that just popped in my head? Freshman by The Verve.
Oh yeah.
About the abortion, right?
Yeah.
That's one.
Oh yeah.
We should do another top 5 at some point of songs you don't know what they're about until later, and you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
I've been singing along with this thinking it was about like a party.
I'm actually furious I don't have Mirrorball on my list. I think Mirrorball or fucking
That one, that hits home. Mirrorball. For
Mirrorball,
us. For
Mirrorball
people like
hits
us.
really hard.
Yeah.
And Peace also is Peace my
Something.
No,
else.
no
That is
surprise
so
here
fucking
that we have like 9 honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Very
Peace
on
is like
brand.
is so fucking heartbreaking because it's just like I can't like you'll never be okay with me. Like it's just like I'm surrounded by chaos and that's just my life and I can never give you peace, but
Yo.
please love me anyway.
That for sure hits home. That should just be called baggage. Well, thanks to Roman, you don't have to do this any longer. But let's say you don't have your Roman swipes. You just think about these songs during sex. You ain't coming. You ain't coming, man. You think about that one elephant. Play next time you're about to come. Play elephant. Make if you don't want to have to play Elephant and Tears in Heaven, if you don't want to have to think about Eric Clapton's Dead Son in order to make sure your boner lasts long, go get some Roman swipes. Your girl's not going to be, she's not getting turned on listening to the song about a 5-year-old falling out the window, okay? Your girl's not going to get wet listening to fucking Everybody Hurts, okay? So get some Roman swipes to cut that out. You can play the sexy music, you can do whatever you want, and the Roman swipes take care of your dick. You open up the package, you rub it on. It's like an alcohol swab almost, and it has this little numbing agent in it, I guess. Numbs your dick up just enough, doesn't numb her or your partner, numbs your dick just enough so that you can last longer, but that you can still feel it and enjoy it, which is kind of it's like what you need in life, you know what I mean? It's like, I guess that's what drugs are, but it's like, I need to numb this, but still be able to enjoy it, and that's exactly what Roman does for sex. Effective, easy to use, fast acting, doesn't require a prescription, and best of all, inexpensive. Right now, you can get it for just $5 when you go to getroman.com/KFC. Don't play Tears in Heaven during bed. Use your Roman swipes. $5 when you go to getroman.com/KFC. Change sex forever. Last longer. Last better. And don't cry during sex. Getroman.com/KFC.
What's up, KFC? Fights, BC, Nick, Jackie. Quick question for you. I have a friend of mine from high school whose dad, when we were in high school, used to not allow us to wear hats in his house. We would have to take off our hats when we showed up and shake his hand without our hat on. It was pretty fucking stupid. So I'm just curious if you have any of your parents or your friends' parents that had ridiculous rules or, I guess, any ridiculous rules when you were growing up. All right. Thanks, Viva.
I mean, the hat is one that's like, I never got that. Why it's rude to have your hat on inside.
I don't know the answer to it, but I
just know it
once
is.
Once it's taught,
like,
it's like all I think about.
Yeah.
Like I don't think about it inside, but at dinner, like I'll take a hat off.
Definitely at dinner, but like to just walk indoors and be like, I have to take this off. That's a weird one.
It's very odd.
Yeah. Take it off for the anthem, you take it off for whatever, but like people like take it off to greet a woman or just take it off inside. It's like, why are we fucking doing this?
It's just a preview of hair.
Yeah, right. Hello, madam.
Yeah.
Hello, milady. Not balding.
You could fuck me if you wish. That's the only. It's like I think that there's like some traditions like that. Like I don't know if that's actually why that one started. It probably isn't. But like opening the door for a woman, I've always been convinced it's just so you can look at girls' asses. Like if it's as a child, I was like, this is just to look at their ass. There's no other reason.
Please, after you.
Like,
damn.
go ahead, shake that tag, girl.
Yeah.
There's no like, what do you know?
I love that.
Opening the door after you.
How about the one where you're supposed to walk on the outside of the sidewalk so
you
that
get
it's fucking.
splashed?
I always heard it was in case a car jumps.
Well, I mean that is like it is the women and children like men. I buy into all this shit too. Like I sleep next to the door because if someone comes in, like,
I mean, guess what? You're all fucked.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck am I gonna do? Tell a guy a joke?
Imagine that. No, but imagine like if you were like, I tried to save her, but I was sleeping on the inside of the bed. Couldn't do it. I had to jump out of the bed first. I couldn't do it. I don't like when people make me take my shoes off. That bothers me.
I fucking hate people who make you take your shoes off.
Like I don't want to walk around barefoot.
I have no desire to be around your fucking socks and like.
Yeah, I look like a child. I'm on your slippery linoleum floor. I look silly.
It's infuriating.
Unless it's like, if I came out of like the snow or the mud, I get it.
Yes.
But if it's just like, normal ass spring day, fucking sunny out, and my shoes are dry, and I just have to take my shoes off, and
I forget what show
fucking,
we
like
were.
Japanese dojo or something.
Maybe it was radio, like when you were out when you're on vacation for a week. Like I've voiced my displeasure about this exact thing fairly recently. It is fucking bullshit.
Terrible.
Oh, maybe Kurabis does it. I forget exactly where it comes from.
Maniscalco has a great bit about it where he's like standing around with like 4 of the other dads at like a couple's party, and they're all like, some of them are literally barefoot because they were in flip flops, and he's just like, we're grown men standing here with our feet out. Like, what the fuck is this?
It's a fucking Curb episode too, where they have the Russian guy, I believe he is.
You don't tell me what to wear.
Or,
fuck off.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. I do have a weird one that I do still.
That you do.
I actually have been thinking about how weird it is recently.
Interesting.
Because of my new living situation.
Okay.
Where like, I don't flush the toilet until after I get out of the shower.
You know what? I do that sometimes too.
It's just like I grew up in a house with old pipes, and it was just like it was
it's gonna get cold.
It would fuck with the thing. So like like I'll get out of the shower. And it's just like just shit.
Okay, yeah. I knew where that was going. We get it. Got it.
It's bizarre.
I won't leave that. But if I pee, I'll just.
No, I'll leave a poop. It's very weird. It's very weird. And
I still have a place that, by the way, will like the water pressure goes down and it will. I don't think it'll get cold, but like the water will take away from
your
the shower.
current place will. Yeah.
So like I actually should, but yeah, that's an interesting one. I still.
I don't know why.
But sometimes I'm not even thinking about the water. It's just like that's the order in which I do it.
Yes.
It's like I pee, I shower, I brush my teeth, I flush. Like I don't know. It's just like how it goes. I never liked, probably because my household was not like this, but like going to. I can remember specifically being at a friend's house once, and I was like, "What's for snacks?" And they were like, "Well, we have like celery sticks with like peanut butter." And I was like, "Bitch," I said, "What's for snacks? Like, what are we gonna snack on?"
Not for my vitamins for the day.
Yeah. Oh, well, we also have carrots. I ask you once again, bitch, what snack am I gonna have? I hate the overly healthy house. We were like soda and donuts. And chips,
Our house was
fucking whatever you
borderline
want.
it.
Coming to my house was. We had Nintendo 64 like a week before it dropped somehow. We got cans of soda. We've got fucking the double stuff. We've got the king size candy bars. We got it all. People everywhere. We had a pool. We had everything. People wanted to come to my house. I never wanted to go anywhere else because like your mom sucks. I'm gonna be barefoot and eating carrots. Fuck you.
We did not have candy, but it wasn't like we didn't have like this pantry
Yeah.
of candy. It was like a box of fruit snacks or
We-
a box of fruit
You
roll-ups.
open that
something
shit
like
up. It was like. Because my mom was just like, shut the fuck up. Go eat your snacks, play video games till your eyeballs bleed, and leave me alone.
Like now when I go home, it is that house.
Stocked.
There's nothing in it. It's difficult to
Ugh,
deal
I
with.
hate that. Yeah, my parents, same thing now. It's like, even things that aren't like that, I'm like, you got any like bread? No. I'm like,
We don't eat bread.
come on, give me something.
I'm trying to think if I ever had. I do know that friend that I had that friend. He had the pool. He had the candy, pecan spin wheels, fucking little Debbie snacks out the ass, all over the
Yep.
place. And that was a house I like to hang out at.
Hell yeah.
But like our house was like, do you want some water?
my grandma had the fucking black box.
Oh, that friend's house is where I watched porn for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and it was an accident. It was, we were watching WrestleMania or one of the wrestling events, and then it just
Switched over. Yeah.
And I thought you had sex with people's assholes forever because the porn to flip to was
I'll be
anal,
honest.
And I was
you
just like,
that came back around. Like in the year 2018, 2019, certainly not 2020, you were proven right. It's
was-
almost exclusively buttholes now.
it was very. I very vividly remember it was a secretary, and she had a hairy vagina, and she was riding the guy on his desk, the boss, so to speak. And I was just like, that's the sex hole.
Isn't it the sex hole? I want to fuck you in your sex hole. Isn't it funny that like porn used to be, I will put my dick in your vagina, and now porn is like, I want to see you push rubber duckies out of your asshole. Shout out to Lana Rhodes. Like the switch. Like where's it gonna go?
I don't know. I fear it.
Do you think we're just gonna watch like snuff films eventually? I think it actually kind of tops out. I think it's almost like, we're eventually we're gonna throw like 110 miles per hour, and like that's it. Eventually, it's got to stop. I think we might be
I've
approaching
seen
that with
three
porn.
penises in a butthole before.
Yeah,
I mean,
like how many
much
more can we
can
do? There are certain physical limitations here, but I'm sure if you told someone in the 70s that you were gonna watch triple anal once or just single anal, they were like, "What?" So who knows? Maybe I feel like maybe I'm being that asshole who's like everything that's ever been invented has been invented in like 1980. But I feel like we're reaching our limits.
I mean, look, they fucking just straight up electrocute people now. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna have to just be straight like pain, you know.
I
By the
don't
way,
care for the electrocutions.
no, I don't like that. I don't like the clothespins on the nipples. I don't like any of that stuff. The rest of it, I'll watch you beat the shit out of someone. But the electrocution and the clothespins really gets me. Lana Rhodes on Answer the Internet tonight with her boyfriend Mike. You know Mike from The Night Shift and Logan Paul, Impulsive. I love Mike. I do have to say this, and I respect the hustle. They won an award once, maybe like a shorty or something like that, for like biggest podcast in the world. And they say that because it was like, it's almost like when we do like our pod track numbers and like it's not including Bill Simmons and these guys because they're just not on pod track, you know? It's like Joe Rogan's the biggest podcast in the world. Yes, we can't say this anymore. I get it. You won the award. That was like the people who were up for that award, but we can't call it the biggest podcast in the world.
I would
It's like
agree.
being like, I'm the best basketball player in the world, like, because we're not including Michael Jordan or something like that. It's like, yeah, you just can't do it. But anyway, they're on Answer the Internet tonight, a duo episode, and it's very good. So check it out. Next voicemail.
Hey, boys. So I gave Road Dome last night for the first time.
Road
And the only
Dome.
reason I did it was because the other day all my friends chirped me for being 22 and never doing it before. And I don't get what the fucking hype is. Anyway, my question for you guys is, what's on your sex bucket list? And if you've already knocked it off, what should be on my sex bucket list?
Jesus Christ,
Love
lady.
you guys. Viva.
I don't know if I can like make this decision for you. Roadhead is overhyped, but it's also, fun. Like you got to check it off. Roadhead, 69ing, shower sex. To me, that's like the bronze, silver, gold of overrated sex novelties.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that's fair. I think I only got Roadhead once, and I was driving like 14 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
It was like fucking, whatchamacallit, Black Sheep. when he pulls over Chris
Yes.
Farley in Spain. He's like,
You were
"No,
going
f-"
4.
Yeah. like I was going impossibly slow in the high speed lane in Canada.
Yeah.
It was like
I used to get roadhead from a girl like consistently. I'd pick her up and be like, let's do a loop. And she would blow me and be like, I'll loop you and then I'll drop you back off. That was good roadhead. She was good at it. That was enjoyable. When it's like we're on the open road on the highway and it's on a road. Now again, it's like if you're on like an 8-hour road trip, I'll welcome it. It's like a cool like way to break up the trip. It's just gonna be hard for her and tough for you.
cars these days are difficult too.
Yeah.
The center console has become a big
thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, can you imagine back in like the 70s where it's just a bench, you just lay down and blow me? Like then it's awesome. But I don't know about now. But all of those things, it's like I do want to fuck you in the shower, but as I'm doing it, I'm like, this
Wish I was in a bed right now.
Right. And I do want to 69 you for a minute, and then let's switch up and like do it individually so that we both can focus and both enjoy. And then and what was the other one? Oh yeah, and then the roadhead. So they're novelties, but they're fun. They are overrated. What's left on the sex bucket list?
Triple anal, probably.
Yeah. Could
Get
you
fucking
ever
electrocuted?
Could you ever do anything where your dick touches another dick?
I doubt it.
I love the honesty. Like maybe.
Yeah.
Those are weird. Like when you see the third member, it's weird enough when it is 2. When those guys are like dick to dick, and then you're just like, make room, coming through, and you're just gonna jam a third dick in there, and everyone's like, you're coming because you're rubbing against another dick.
Yeah.
It's like at that point, I don't even think you're touching any of her
If you're in the
asshole or
middle,
vagina.
it's just
you're just rubbing
fucking two
dicks.
penises.
I've still never I've not done any group stuff, so I guess the bucket list for me would be a third person.
Third party involved?
Yeah, third party, fourth party, fifth party. I don't know if I could go like full blown orgy, but I think I actually, you know what my hot take is? I think I'd do better in a foursome than a threesome. But maybe not. I mean, I guess I'm thinking about I'm not thinking about all the the number of guys. That would kind of weird me out. But I think if it's a threesome, 2 girls, 1 guy, I feel like I am one person who has to please 2 people. If I'm in like an orgy, I feel like you can kind of bounce around, you know? It's like you're at the cocktail party, you know, you say hi and then you just shift over to another conversation, and I feel like I can just, bounce around the room and fuck everybody a little bit, but nobody's looking to just me to get everybody off.
I think that's a pretty sound argument.
I'd rather fuck like 8 people than 2. Because it's like, I can't possibly please all of you.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
you could
gotta
have a great night and like you'll remember me fondly, even though I didn't really do anything. It's
Exactly.
like I'm getting the credit for something that I didn't really.
Precisely.
It wasn't.
A full blown threesome's like, all right, I have to like fuck you till you come, but then I can't. I have to fuck you till you come or whatever. No. It is impossible. It's totally impossible. So that would be the only thing left for me. For her, I mean, I don't know, girl. It's up to you.
Yeah, I have no idea how to answer.
Especially like you're 22 now. It's like
I don't even know.
I feel like I could tell a 22-year-old be like, well, like I don't know. You should maybe experiment and do like some ass play. And she'd be like, yeah, dude, I did that 7 years ago. You fucking pussy. You little prude. So I don't even know what to tell you. She's probably like, yeah, we did the electrocution on prom night. What do you want me to do?
God almighty.
That's up to you. I don't know. Go to the fucking basement of the kink.com castle. I don't fucking know.
I have sex with a girl. I'd fucking.
Yeah. I think it's a little crazy if you're a girl and you don't have sex with girls. But at this point, it's almost like, that's like being the new virgin. Like when someone's a virgin, it's like, just what? Like do it. It might be awesome. What's the reason to hold out? Now I think that about lesbian sex. I'm like, just do it.
I think that's right.
Right?
But then like
some are pretty high for girls.
Someone flipped the script like, why don't you have sex with a guy? Like,
but we know there's a double standard
Yes.
there with girls. It's just like, yeah, that doesn't really play. I'm not gonna butt fuck a dude. You should eat out a girl. Double standards. They cut both ways. Last voicemail of the day is brought to you by Miller Lite. Because we're sitting here talking with you guys. You're calling us up. We're answering your questions because we're all friends. We're all buddies. We're all internet friends and family. And we've been that way for 9 years now, 8 years, pushing 9 years. And it's all thanks to the KFC Radio voicemail hotline. And so it's very apropos that Miller Lite brings that to you today, because Miller Lite has been a lifeline for people to share stories, have some laughs, kick back, and have a good time. And that's what the KFC Radio hotline voicemail line has been for us, for you guys to call us up, tell us funny stories, ask us questions, and connect with us. You guys do that. We crack open a beer. You open up you crack open a bottle, or you open it up for your buddy who's got sausage fingers and he can't open them himself, and you talk and you share stories, and maybe you listen to a sad song and you cry. Maybe you tell a good tale and you laugh. You ask for advice. You do all that on the hotline. You do all that with your Miller Lite. Whether you're with friends, whether you're with coworkers, family, fucking with enemies, crack open a Miller Lite and you will end up being friends with that person because it's Miller time. So right now, go to MillerLite.com/KFC and you can find out all the delivery options near you. Cheers to fights. Cheers to you guys listening. You hear me crack that beer right there? It's a 12-ounce can filled with Miller Lite, and that means it's 3.2 carbs and only 96 calories. It's brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it's the best goddamn beer ever. So celebrate responsibly from the Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. MillerLite.com/KFC to find the delivery options near you to get them sent right to your house while you stay socially distant and enjoy the podcast and enjoy your friends and enjoy your Miller Lite. Last one. Let's go, Nick.
What's up, KFC Fights, BC, first time, long time. So I got a question. So I met with this girl on Bumble like a week ago, and we've been talking ever since, and last night she started texting me, so I was like, all right, fuck it.
Can you press pause for a second? Because we're in some sort of goddamn train tunnel or something.
I mean, pull your windows up when you're
For
calling.
real. Holy moly. So all right, he's messaging with a girl on Bumble.
They started sexting. I believe.
Started sexting. Proceed.
She just started saying some wild shit. Like, one of the things she said was she wants to be my little cunt slut, and that kind of just threw me for a loop. Which, I mean, hey, I'm all for it, but the problem is I'm a virgin, so my question is, how the fuck do I back this up when we meet? Like, I'm just gonna absolutely blow my lid in like 30 seconds. So how the fuck do I avoid doing that? I have talked a big game that I cannot back up. Look forward to answering. Keep up the good work. See you, fellas.
All right, first of all,
How the fuck you a virgin, bro?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like it's like a waiting thing. Like, it seems like, I mean, you got to be fairly attractive, I imagine, if this girl wants to be your little cum slut. And it doesn't seem like you were like intentionally holding out.
maybe he's disgusting.
How the fuck are you a fucking virgin?
Maybe he's just absolutely disgusting. He didn't sound disgusting.
He didn't sound disgusting. And again, disgusting people don't usually get messages like, I want to be your little cum slut.
Right. So that is bizarre. You'd think if you're a virgin that you've never even heard a girl talk like that, like talk to you, let alone talk like that to you.
Right.
Cum slut. Now, I will say this. That's a sexy sex. That's a power move. But these things are becoming more and more normalized, you know?
Cum sluttery?
Just, yeah, like, listen. Like, guess what? You know, your girl's not going to be offended with you calling her a slut anymore. in certain scenarios and circumstances. You call a girl a slut, like, to her face at the bar that you don't know, yes. You call your girl a slut in bed, she's going to be like, yeah. That's why we're fucking here. So, you know, that for the virgin is probably like, whoa, but I think you should, that is aggressive. That, don't get me wrong. That's a text if I got, I'd be like, hell fucking yeah. But I do think
that would be, honestly, that would scare me too. I would be like, holy shit, I am over my head.
If a girl says like, I'll be like your little slut, it's one thing. Cum slut is like, you particularly want that cum in and around your mouth or other parts of your body. That is something.
I wouldn't be turned off by it, but I would say, oh boy, I'm in.
Yeah, but I'd say, oh boy, in a good way. This is like, you know, like you're applying to a job you know you are unqualified for. But are you going to say no, though?
Right.
It's like they might give you this job that's $100,000 a year, and then you'll just figure it out when you're there.
Show up day one.
And you might get fired. She might kick you out of bed, and you'll never fuck her again, but you got to, like, go try. And it's like anything else in life. Sex is like anything else in life. Snake it till you make it. So, like, show up to that job on the first day.
Romaned up.
Yeah. You got it. So that, the literal scientific answer now is go to GetRoman.com/KFC. Get a bunch of Roman swipes. You know, you're hooking up. You're like, I got to go to the bathroom real quick before we start fucking. You go to the bathroom, you rub it on, whatever. I don't know, maybe it's dark in there. You fumble around. You put on another one in the middle of sex. You get 2 Romaned up. You keep these motherfuckers on Deckington. You have them already. I would suggest you go to the bathroom, open up a bunch of them, put them in your pockets, and just have them at the ready. Just like grab them and put them on. Put them on the bedside table, put them under the pillows, whatever it is, so you can just grab them and rub them on while you're switching positions and stuff. That's, boom, your problem fixed. But I mean, foreplay is your friend, man. Like, spoiler alert, they like the foreplay better than the sex. Your dick stinks, you know? So, like, just spend a whole shit ton of time with your hands and your mouth for an extended period of time. And then when you put it in and it's done in a minute, it's like, shit, she got hers.
Yeah.
And, you know
It
what
is
you
the
do?
worst when they're like, no, come on. And I'm like,
No. Trust me.
We're going to hang out down here for a little bit longer, okay? Why don't you fucking keep your panties on?
Literally. I think, and when you do come, lay it on thick. Tell her, make it like a compliment for her. Like, you're so fucking sexy that I came everywhere, like, instantly.
I always just go with a whoops.
Yeah, sure. Like, it's like anything else in life. It's as big of a deal as you let it be, If you turn red and you're like, oh my God, this never happens, I swear, and then it's a thing, it's a problem. If you're just like, whoa, you were so fucking sexy and I was just not ready for that,
give me 5 minutes. We'll go again.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're a little bit of a freak in that regard, but
I get 5 minutes to ease you. I'll fucking go right now. Let's go, kid. Let's go, kid. I didn't want to fucking intimidate you too much, but I fucking won't even come out.
I'm just fucking my own cum in there. Let's go. Goodness gracious. Yeah, man, just go get laid though. Just like
stop being
find a fucking
yeah,
willing
if you want to be a
participant.
virgin. But it doesn't seem like you want to be a virgin, so go have sex.
And like, if you got girls calling themselves cum sluts, like, let it rip. And don't worry about coming fast. I'll be honest. I had a moment the other day. I think lasting long in bed is for the birds. I think it's overrated. I really think if you can last super long, or if you're drunk and you're like numbed up, it's like I really don't think she's enjoying it either. I think there's a natural amount of time for sex. I don't know what the right amount of time is. It's almost like a joke. Like I was watching the goddamn Jets the other day before we put it out, and we had an edit done, and I was like, we have to cut those jokes like starting after this point because I reached my point. I laughed at a couple things. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And then I did 2 or 3 more, and those were funny, but I reached my point, so just cut them. I think that's like sex. And I think it's like, especially you've done a couple positions, hopefully she's like come once, or maybe if you're lucky, even more. And then it's time. Jackhammering away. And like if you, I feel like if you tell a girl to flip over and you're like fucking her, and then you're like flip back onto her back, I think she's like, wait, what? It's just like, it's gone too long. I think long sex, overrated. So don't worry about coming soon.
I think that's fair.
Right? Roman swipes will give you just the right amount, and the rest is it's like having too big of a dick. There can be too much of a good thing. Too long, too big, too furious. Let's get to our interview. Colin Quinn, the legendary Colin Quinn. It's brought to you by Thursday Boots. This interview is brought to you by the Thursday Boots Company. They are a bootstrapped startup that's been shaking up the industry. Head on over to ThursdayBoots.com to try on a pair today with free shipping and free returns. And if you use their survey at checkout, let them know that I sent you there. These guys, we've been working with them for a long time. We had our own signature boots a couple seasons in a row. High quality boots that really are truly, genuinely stylish with the different leathers, different suedes, different colors, different patterns and designs. Really high quality stuff that's affordable because they cut out the middleman and just get them delivered right to you. So go to ThursdayBoots.com to try out your pair today with free shipping and free returns. Let's talk to the legendary Colin Quinn now.
There he is.
Hey, what's up?
Whoa!
How we
What's
doing?
going on, man?
Hi, guys.
What's good? How are you?
No, I'm fine. You guys are the first ones to see my new set I put together.
Very nice.
We have always, throughout this whole thing, looking at everybody's backgrounds with their Zoom cameras has always kind of been a unique thing, and I got to give it to you. I think you win. Gold medal for you, Colin.
Well, because I have books, so people go, oh,
Smart.
You have to have books. I have a picture. It's a picture of myself, but so that's kind of in bad taste. But I look at it. It's good enough for the Russian oligarchs. It's good enough for me.
We appreciate the time, man. Thanks. This is kind of a bucket list thing for us. We've been having a lot of comedians on the show over the last 3-4 years, and obviously adding you to the pantheon for sure because you are kind of regarded as, one of those comic. I always feel like I always hear it's you and Dave Attell whenever people mention, if you're a comedian, your favorite comics. And I feel like you two are almost exclusively always mentioned. So, I guess it's been a pretty good run for you. That's got to be one of the highest compliments you can be paid, no?
Yeah, it's definitely the highest compliment you can be paid. And the lowest financial compensation you can be paid. Unless the wall full of comedians, no one's going to come see you. You know, comics are not usually the audience favorite.
Well, you got the HBO Max money coming now.
Hey, that's that. You can't knock that.
Yeah. Whoa.
What do you think it is that that makes you get that reputation? Like, is it something about your your comedy? Is it something about how you are when you're off stage? Why do the OGs really gravitate towards you?
I don't know, but I'll tell you right now, from day one, even when I was new, comedians liked me, and I don't know why. I was trying to please the crowd, but it didn't work out that way. I always pleased the comedians when I started.
I mean, I don't think you can say you didn't please the crowd, but that is interesting. Maybe that's.
Yeah, I'm saying from the beginning.
Yeah.
When crowds hated me for a couple of years when I started. And the comedians were like this. I don't know what it is.
Maybe that's what it was, though. Maybe they saw that you were just like, this guy doesn't really give a shit about us. He is focused on the crowd, and that's what it's all about. Maybe that's why.
No, I mean, I was not focused on it. Like, the crowd didn't like me. I think comedians like
but like, were you weren't trying to please comedians, were you? You were trying to please the crowd.
I was trying to please the crowd.
Yeah.
But I was giving off a message to the crowd that said, I don't give a shit about you.
And that's why. All right, I get it. And that's where the comics are like, yeah, this guy's cool.
I wasn't trying to do that, but it must have something. I don't know what it was, but yeah,
interesting.
It was open. Comedians kept me in the business. That's for sure.
Is there a big difference? Are you still in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've been New York through and through. Did you ever do like a stint out in LA?
Yeah, I did 2 years in LA.
But that, I mean, overall, in your whole career, that's a drop in the bucket, really.
Yeah.
I feel like most guys do make the move out there, and you just You're never a West Coast guy. You want to stay in New York the whole time.
I lived there for a couple of years. I liked it. I mean, but it's not. For some reason, when I was out there, I stopped doing stand up. I just was like, nah, I don't feel like doing it out here. I don't know why, but. So I came back and started doing it again.
Was that when I saw you tweeted, I don't know when it was, a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, whenever, about your failed cocktail audition? Was that down in LA?
No, that was before. That was before I left.
How'd that go?
Well, Tom Cruise, I went in, as he knows from my tweet, and I wasn't really a trained actor, to put it mildly. I was a comedian, so they brought me into a room. It's like 1986, whenever the movie came out. So it brought me in a room and and it's Tom Cruise. He's already a superstar, So I was a little bit starstruck, but I was like, I know how to act. I don't know why I thought this would work. And so I started miming, because I used to be a bartender. I started miming, making drinks. And you could feel the disgust in the room. Tom Cruise, you could tell Tom Cruise had like a pity. He's like, oh, look at this guy. I'm like, yeah. And I knew the worst is, it's bad enough when you think it's going bad, but I thought it was going good. I was like this. like nobody would have ever thought of it. And I'm like, I was a bartender, so it's not going to look stupid.
I got this.
I sucked all the energy out of the room. The one thing I left with was I took every bit of air in there.
I didn't get the job. I just took your souls with me.
One of the few times I auditioned for something where I walked out and said, I definitely didn't get that. I'd be that bad, but I'd be like, they love me. This one I was like, whoa.
We did one trip out to LA a couple years ago where it's not even like we had anything to pitch, really. I don't even know what we were doing out there.
I have no idea what we were doing.
I couldn't even tell you what we talked about, but we took a few meetings at, I guess, networks and shit. And every meeting we walked out of, we were like, yo, these fucking guys liked us. We're making it. We're on our way.
We weren't even pitching anything. We were just talking to people.
But that's the old cliche they say about in New York, if they hate you, they'll tell you. In LA, if they're not going to give you the job, they take you out to lunch.
At least shoot me straight. Just tell me, man.
100 times out there too, where you're sitting at the meetings and just talking, and you're like, "These guys love me," but there's some other part of your gut that tells you something's not going. Like there's a little party that's like, "Why don't I feel good? These guys love me," and you get in your car and you're validated, and you just. Something's going on. No,
that was it.
You guys, I can see it happening 100 times. they're going, we know these guys have something, and they're trying to figure out, they don't know what it is. And they're like, yeah. So what do you guys do? And they want your popularity to translate, but they don't have an idea how to do it.
Nope, that's exactly what it is.
I'll tell you what, we fell into like the Hollywood lifestyle very quick though. Like the first meeting, we were like scared to say anything. By the end of the day, I was like, "Where's my fucking water? How did you not give me a water when I got in here?"
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. It's all about the water. Like,
yes, always.
I'm out there within a week. I had a rental car. I was just staying there in Oakwood. Within a week, I said, I went back and rented a Mercedes. I ran my Mercedes to these horrible meetings that are going terrible.
I feel like by the end we were like, listen, you know, I know things are going good with like Game of Thrones, but I think you should be doing this, that, and the other thing.
Oh, I was giving them ideas. We were at Universal. I was telling them what they should do with the Fast and Furious franchise. I was like, here's an idea for you guys.
I'm glad you guys said that because I was on MTV, so I was a little known. So they're trying to do a deal with me in 1989, 90 or whatever. And the same thing happened where they bring me in. So they go, you're going to meet the producers. But I didn't know the producers wrote the scripts in TV. The writer is the producer.
Mm-hmm.
So they go, what do you think of our script?
Oh, no.
Not funny, but me and my friends in comedy, we could fix it for you. It's pretty hacky. And they're looking at me with daggers in their eyes. I'm going, then I go to my agent, what do they think of me? Like that Saturday Night Live sketch. They hated you. What? I hate you. What did you say to them? And we couldn't figure it out like until 6 times in. And we go, oh yeah. They're the writers.
Talking to the writers. So how did it go when you got Tough Crowd? What was like the tipping point there? And
Tough Crowd started with Loin. I came off SNL. So it was like an NBC show for 3 episodes. And then it was doing really well, but they didn't want to handle it, which in retrospect, I understand why.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be a bit much, but sometimes I got out of control. But I mean, so then Comedy Central said, we want to do a show like that. I go, great. Once a week, half hour. I wrote part of it, so it was under control. They go, no, we want it every day, 5 days a week. So I was like, all right, well, I can't do that. Gave me a couple of writers, but we still couldn't control the whole show. So I brought on the uncontrollables.
I like that, the uncontrollables.
Yeah, like the movie. What was that movie with
Yeah, the Untouchable or the Expendables. Yeah, you brought the uncontrollables in. Yeah.
These are the comedy Expendables, and then just started having these shows, and it was, I know it in my mind. It succeeded in the sense that I wanted it to be people. Because we're supposed to be so funny off the cuff, I wanted to be like funny off the cuff. Everybody just doing what they want, being brutally honest, and trying to, So it succeeded many times, and but in the grand scheme of things, obviously, we're not going to keep that for that long,
Yeah, but I feel like you can go into a show with two different goals, I guess, or mentalities of like, I want to make it on the air for 25 seasons, or I want to be like fucking funny with my guys who are going to let it rip. And I don't think you can have both. I think that's impossible.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm happy given the choice. I'm glad we went that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
was that something you would tell, the uncontrollables, like, just fucking, I don't care what happens, just let it rip?
I mean, I didn't tell them that, but there was the message. Basically. I was like, I was just trying to make it spontaneous every day and try to keep it as funny and real. So, I mean, half the time, on the show, they turn on me in the middle of my show. Just one of those things.
I was reading where you would tell everyone no applause allowed. What was that? Was just because you wanted to just be about laughter and comedy?
Because I hate. This is before clapter existed, but
clapter.
Now clapter is. I was right about that because I wouldn't even let them applaud when I did my monologue. No applause, because if you're doing comedy, applause is for rallies, for agreement, political, or anything. Laughter is the only thing comedy has.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want people to be fooled by applauding instead of laughing. So
Yeah, but I also feel like when I'm at a comedy club, I guess it's always accompanied with laughter, but when someone really nails like a very astute point, like it's funny, but it's also a good reference that I'm like, oh shit, I do that, or that really is on point. I find myself, because it is approval, like you said, like I'm giving you respect while I'm laughing, but I guess it can't just be the clapping.
Well, like you said, you can't have both. So I decided to become a fascist and stop all applause.
So wait, at that point in your career, I mean, you're pretty political now. I guess tough crowd. You're always speaking your mind and whatever.
Yeah.
But now that everything is so much more politicized, are you going for more? Are you still going for laughter? Or are you going for more approval or agreement or whatever?
Always going for laughter.
Yeah.
Always going for laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like that's the only value comedians have, because it doesn't matter if you have a profound point. If you have a profound point and you're being funny and you're a comedian, if you just have a profound point, that's not a comedian. That's a philosopher. You can call him anything. A comedian is supposed to be getting laughs and eliciting whatever point you make. It's laughter first, like doctor first, do no harm. Comedian first, I want to make sure you're getting a laugh.
Yeah.
And then if you want to expound, that's fine. But I don't want to. And then the audience gets in that space where they're like, well, we have to applaud this, because it's the right point today, especially today where everything is, so brainwashed and so, people are so, monolithically,
Yeah.
ideology.
Have you like changed your style at all in recent years because of like the way the world is and society and the audience maybe?
So, I mean, I've probably been more specific and precise, because you can't if you say the wrong buzzword, people will dismiss it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, no, you're not even listening to the book. Like, you used to be able to tell people something and they'd see the joke inside of it, because you're being ironic or whatever. Now you have to be very specific about what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm. I think in some ways, does that make you better though?
Yes.
Yeah, like some people said, like the PC culture's ruining comedy, and it's like I think it's ruining it if you're kind of like a hack, but the really good ones can articulate it the right way where it's still funny.
Well, no, I still say PC culture ruins comedy.
Okay.
I'm not, but yes, you're right. It's both. It does ruin it for hacks, but they also are just so. I mean,
yeah, it's just overbearing.
People are literally watching comedy now, like, what? Oh, okay, and it's like, you can't have, you can't be being on point is good. You're right, but there's a new hack, and it's people that do their joke, but first make a statement that the audience is like, okay, this person just said something that we can't disagree with. Well,
Right.
Hacks are like, like cockroach. You can't kill them. They just transform into PC hacks.
What made you kind of, because Red State Blue State was before Trump, right?
No.
Oh, it wasn't.
Unconstitutional before Trump. My first show about the country was called Unconstitutional, and that was 2014. 13 and 14, that was before Trump.
Oh, so what?
Red State, Blue State, yeah.
What made you do Unconstitutional? Like what? Because it is such like a dangerous, weird, like politicized world. Like what made you be like, all right, I'm gonna dive headfirst into it?
Yeah, because I feel like this is real. I mean, I'm not the only one. The whole country, everybody in this country feels like something's gonna blow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just crazy right now for everybody. And so, I mean, comedy's the elephant in the room kind of stuff. So it was like one of those things where I was like, let me try to figure this out myself at least, So I said, let me start with the Constitution, because that's where this whole philosophy of our personality as a country, like the way people are here, is based on that,
And so now we got the book coming out, Overstated, which is the coast to coast roast. Is that more of the same ideology behind it, or what's different from that? I guess I should say.
And don't feel bad. Already, several Twitter followers have helpfully told me coast to coast roast. Ugh. So it's one of my promotion. It's my clever log line again.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I like it.
I didn't
now I feel like an idiot because I like it.
I thought it was fine. Yeah.
I like it too. But of course, right away, people are like, ugh. Everybody's a critic. And but the ideology is the same. Yeah. The same thing. Which is like, I'm trying to you know, just analyze all the different states and the mentalities because the truth is 50 states is big.
It's impossible. It's ridiculous to try to govern all of that at once.
Yeah, it's impossible. So that's basically what the book is, the different personalities of each state.
Do you think as like a New Yorker, I mean, can you even really tackle the mentality of fucking Idaho or something?
Well, I've been to 47 states, so
yeah.
You know, I'm throwing my 2 cents in, but no, you can't. You can't, and that's the whole point. You can't tackle them, and they can't tackle us. But
right.
everybody wants to tackle each other and get them into line with their thinking, and that's one of the conflicts we're having. You know.
Did you travel for this book, or was it written like just like in memories and stuff like that?
No, I mean, I was going to travel for it. It was all based on memories. Yeah.
What's the 3 states you haven't gone to yet?
The Dakotas.
Fuck them.
And Wyoming.
Fuck them. Who cares? Nobody needs them. There's no audiences out there. Who cares?
No, but I wrote the way I wrote the book was I wrote all the states that were going to be the hard ones at the beginning, and that was the best thing I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
So like all of Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, all those places early, you know.
And I'm sure every state will have great feedback and not think that you missed something or mischaracterized them, right?
I've already,
yeah.
The little spoke, I've already attacked it, but I did definitely. Everybody, the good thing I did was every state I insulted very brutally. So
that's equal opportunity, man.
I wouldn't say they would take it easy on you.
We do this thing here every couple months where we'll put up a graphic that we completely make up, where it's like every state's favorite fast food restaurant. And we literally, these guys at our company will make up places that don't exist and put them on the map. And they'll have people being like, we don't even fucking go to that place, man. We like McDonald's. And like, it's not even real. But people get fired up when you try to characterize them as, their state is XYZ.
You're right, especially since I'm not from there, of course. Yeah.
Right.
You got their pride in that. I mean, look at college football. So it's the only thing that people really keeps everybody unified.
Mm-hmm.
It's college football.
That's it. That's all we got.
I think that's so weird. If you're not in football, I just think being proud of where you're from is odd.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Well,
I'm from Massachusetts. It's fine.
Are you like a proud New Yorker?
Let's not act like Massachusetts people aren't just as cocky.
Yeah.
The cockiest, the most obnoxious states, New York City and Long Island, the most obnoxious. Massachusetts, just as obnoxious. Texas. Those are the 3 cockiest places.
Right.
I agree with that, but I don't share that mentality. I'm like, I don't know. You want to go to Boston? Go to Boston. I'm not like, you haven't lived if you haven't been on Newbury Street. It's like, I don't know. It's fine. It's whatever. It's the fucking same as everywhere else.
Boston group. You can blame. Before 2000, they weren't really like that.
No.
But they would only push you on Connecticut and New Hampshire. But once Belichick, the Red Sox, Belichick and Brady, they just exploded.
It really is. I mean, like, Texas is kind of, everything's bigger in Texas, sort of cowboy, oil, all that shit. New York is the money in the big city. Boston has that same, but just because of sports.
It's just,
they don't have anything else.
I know when it flipped for me. Like, I know that there was 1 year where, like, I was only going to school and I was like kind of the lovable loser in high school, and like everyone's like, Boston stinks, ha ha ha.
You were like the dude.
And then one day I was just like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck all of you. You guys suck. I fucking hate you, bro.
It was 2004.
Yep.
Yeah. Incredible. Where do you stand on this whole this New York City is dead story, which has kind of infiltrated the comedy world as well? Jerry Seinfeld had his like op-ed response, and
right.
Where are you? I mean, you're still here, so you're living through it. Do you feel like the city? I mean, obviously the city has changed, but would you characterize it as dead or alive or what?
I mean, it's in horrible shape.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where it goes, I don't know. But it's definitely, I just can't leave because I don't belong anyplace else.
Right.
But it's definitely in bad shape right now.
When you say that, what do you mean when you say you don't belong anywhere else? That's such a funny statement, but I kind of feel the same way.
Every place else I've been, I'm like, I love it here. In LA. I loved LA. I love it when I go vacation. I'm like, wow, this is great. And then I come back and I'm just on the coming back from the airport in the cab, and I'm like, oh, I love you so much. My home.
I've always felt like, I mean, I've been here my whole life, so I have my friends and family here, but I don't,
Yeah.
I don't really feel that like return home and love it, but I also just don't think I could go anywhere else. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's also the personality. Like people from the tri-state area have a certain, like everybody has a certain personality that they just, that it's just, I don't know. People from here, it's just the way everybody's like this. This is how everybody is. I feel like everybody, Massachusetts, the Midwest, everybody's just like comfortable with their people. That's how it is.
We've said it before with, when we have guests on, that there's a different vibe and a different connection we have with someone who's from the East Coast.
Yeah.
And like, we don't even have to know it going in. We could afterwards be like, hey, where's he from, by the way? Like, oh, he's from
Jersey.
He's from Jersey. Like, no wonder we hit it
There
off.
really is a palpable difference in the conversation. I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess, you're just more personable or whatever, but there really is a big difference.
But it's also we speak fast. Like this conversation is very fast.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you're talking to, especially if it's like middle America, they like literally can't keep up. Like, what are you saying?
And it's always amazing. Yet when you think about it, some of the greatest comedians, I mean, Richard Pryor, Sam Kinison are both from the same town in Illinois.
Wow, weird.
Isn't that weird? I don't know what it's called, Skokie, one of these towns. Yeah, not Skokie. But anyway, there's a lot of, it's always funny to me because when I was growing up, all the great comedians came from Boston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All these Boston guys,
Yeah. What do you think that is too, though? I mean, I feel like Boston does have a pretty long list of guys who either really like cut their teeth there or just happen to be from there. And
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the audiences are so mean in a healthy way for comedy that you just have to be take it to another level in Boston,
Guys are assholes.
It's weird because like when I was living in Boston, stand-up comedy wasn't like a thing really. Like in New York, there'll be plenty of times where we're hanging out having a beer at dinner and it's like, hey, you want to go to the cellar tonight? And like, I don't think I probably lived in Boston for 6 years. I don't think one single time anyone ever suggested let's go to a comedy. I honestly, I don't know if I could tell you where a comedy club is in Boston.
Really? Do you think that's just you though? Like you just weren't doing that?
It died so hard in those years, the 2000s. It died. It used to be in the 80s. It was the best place on the planet because they paid the most money. Because this guy Mike Clark was the big booker, and he just paid a lot of money. And so you made more money in Boston for one-nighters, and there was shows everywhere. There was 6 clubs in Boston, small city, 6 comedy clubs. And then it did die at the 2000s, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were a few times where we'd we should go to a show at some point in the next week or two, but we never went. But here, I mean, I go to comedy clubs, obviously when they're open. I go to comedy clubs all the time because it's just like, hey, what do you want to do tonight?
So what the hell was the answer when you and your friends said, what do you want to do tonight in those days?
Blackout.
Yeah, just drink. What do you listen to podcasts, Colin?
No.
Do you like podcasts? Would you consider doing one? Do you not care for them? Do you think they're stupid?
No, I like them. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it amazes me. It's the same thing with what radio used to be. It amazes me, but keeping it going for that many hours is not easy, and it's not. I couldn't do it. I mean,
I think you could do it. You 1,000%. Maybe you wouldn't like it, but could you do it and be good at it? 1,000,000,000%.
But put it this way: does anyone need another comedy podcast talking about comedy with other comedians? That's the problem.
Yeah, but you're probably right. But again, you are one of these, one of like 2 or maybe 3 guys who I think people do want to hear it from. I'm just pitching you to make you do a fucking podcast. You should do it. Leave money on the table.
Yeah. I mean, but the problem is that I feel like comedy in particular, they've got people to do that. So it's like I'm going to jump in now and talk to the same other people, and then every time they say something, I go, yeah, but forget about what you said to that guy. Here's what I want to know.
Yeah. Talk to me instead. Well, Rogan is obviously the king of it. Today, I guess somebody asked Donald Trump, would he do a 4-hour debate with Biden, with Rogan as the moderator, which is actually something, I don't know if you've seen it, but over the years on the internet, there's always been a little bit of a grassroots movement from people to be like, Joe Rogan should debate, should moderate these debates. And now, like, it's, I don't know, maybe a step towards actually coming to fruition. Pretty fucking wild.
That would be great. A stand-up comic moderating the debate would be the greatest. But I mean, that would be the greatest thing ever.
I would throw your name in that ring.
I was
feel
gonna
like
say, would you have any interest in
really
it?
good job in it. I don't know if you'd like it, but I think you could do it for sure.
But I don't have a podcast. I mean,
dude, you know that you're Colin Quinn, right? You know who you are. Like if they said tomorrow Colin Quinn was the moderator, people wouldn't be like, "Who? He doesn't even have a podcast." You could do it, dude. I promise you.
Oh, how about this? I do an episode of Tough Crowd with Trump, Biden, Kamala Harris, and Mike Pence.
Let's go. Now we're cooking with gas. I love it. What an idea. All right, so the other thing we do here, we have a show called Answer the Internet, where we've compiled all of like these crazy hypothetical and kind of mind-bending questions that we've heard over the years on our show and gathered from the internet. Do you mind if we hit you with some of those?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to do, let me pull up the list of questions here. It's on the bottom of the screen. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Answer the Internet with Colin Quinn. Who's the number one celebrity, we'll do dead or alive, whose birthday party you would want to attend?
Number one celebrity, dead or alive, whose birthday party I would want to attend. Well, I attend. You heard my famous Robert De Niro birthday party story, right? That's the number one.
To remind the audience,
I did Robert De Niro's birthday party, his 60th birthday party, and I bombed so badly, I not only ruined his birthday. 10 years later, him and his wife were outside the cellar. Jim Norton goes, "Hey, remember when Colin did your birthday party?" And both of their faces darkened with hate. 10 years later.
What do you remember? Like, was there like a specific joke or a moment that you were like, "Holy shit"? Yeah.
I remember the entire blow my blood. I remember her calling me and saying, "Hey, I'd like you to do his birthday party. Just do your De Niro impression for 2 minutes." And I remember me, like Ralph Cramby, going, "I'll do better than that." He showed up. I remember the waiters' faces when I got there, like envious, like I tried to be an actor and this guy's making a living in showbiz. I remember the waiters' faces when I left, disgusted and confused.
Was it really that bad? Like, I can understand the impression maybe, but like at this point, you're a professional comedian. Like,
I've told the story, but my suit was drenched. My suit, not my shirt.
oh. All right, so not Bob De Niro.
I didn't even sweat on stage. My whole suit was drenched. One of monumental.
I don't think I've ever seen a wet suit.
It's when you get the pit stains in the jacket, it's special, man. That is special.
It was. So that's the birthday party I would not attend.
You know what? I mean, obviously you don't want to ever bomb, but now looking back on it, isn't it almost better to have that story that you bombed so colossally? Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd rather have killed and gotten in forever with Scorsese and De Niro and those guys, but given the choice between mediocre and that, I'll take the
bomb every time. Do you get nervous on stage at all anymore?
Do I get nervous?
Yeah.
No, you get a little bit excited before. Yeah, you get a little bit nervous, I guess, but not in a bad way, but you get nervous, yeah.
Crazy.
You need a couple of minutes to get up, like you can't, like some guys, they'll talk to you and go on stage. Most of us, you need 2 minutes alone.
Mm-hmm. Focus, get in the zone.
Pace and get in there, Yeah. But,
question number 2.
Oh, yeah.
If you were kidnapped, what TV cast would you want to come save you?
If I was kidnapped, what TV cast? Does that have to be a show now or a show?
No, whatever you want.
I mean, I would say, this is one of those questions today. I mean, obviously, every guy, let's just take this question and say it's 1998.
Okay.
Right? So the answer to the question would be like something sexual with whatever, Baywatch or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you can't say that, even though that's we want to save you, of course.
Yeah.
But now, so what are you going to say? The answer would be like, oh, I'd like it to be, The Sopranos. Well, that sounds sort of like weird. Like, what, you need other guys to say? I mean, so this is what I'm talking about. There's got to be a place between toxic masculinity and, being a little, a wilting flower waiting for a big pussy to save you from, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let us know when you find that middle ground.
I'd ask for the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. I want those guys to come save me.
A trans-related show, somebody that's sort of compromising between the two.
What would you do if you only had 30 minutes to live?
If I only have 30 minutes to live, that's a short time.
Not a lot can get done.
I couldn't even take a shit in 30 minutes.
Well, all right. What if I gave you 24 hours?
If I had 30 minutes to live, I would buy a pack of cigarettes and smoke like 12 of them.
Just let them rip.
Do you still smoke?
No, I haven't smoked in 20-something years, but I mean, I would
miss
smoke.
it every day. Yeah, just sit there and rip them. Like, Colin, what are you doing? I'm almost about to die, dude. I'm on number fucking 9.
Marlboro Reds.
What? Oh, those just they go down like glass, man. I don't know. Those are fucking tough. I guess keeping with the theme of dying here, what's the most embarrassing way to die within the confines of your average day? So a normal day in Colin Quinn's life, what's the worst way you could die?
I almost died a very embarrassing death. I was driving when I lived in L.A. I was driving in L.A., or maybe I was visiting one time. But anyway, I was driving, and I had a big gulp. One thing I love about living in L.A., I got a big gulp. I used to have a truck, a nice big gulp, and then, pretzels or whatever. So this day...
Wait a minute. You're driving like a pickup truck or whatever with a fucking big gulp?
Yes.
Okay. I did not picture that, but all right.
So I'm driving, but this day I made a fatal error. Nearly fatal. I bought a box of Triscuits. So I finished my big gulp, but I didn't realize I was done with it. So I kept eating Triscuits.
Oh, no.
And I started to choke to death on the Triscuits. And I was like, and I was driving, I was thinking in my head, oh no, like I'm gonna die of choking on a Triscuit. That'd be a pretty bad way to die.
Oh yeah. Out of all the snacks too, like if you told me you died choking on pretzels or potato chips, but if you died choking on a Triscuit, you're a pussy.
They look in, and I've got like a Miley Cyrus tape.
I had a buddy who got in a car accident one morning while he was putting jam on his bagel, and the cops gave him a DUI test, and he didn't tell them. He wanted them to think he was drunk. He's like, it's better. Like, I'd rather have them think I'm drunk than I was
spreading my jelly on a bagel.
Jam on an everything bagel.
Like an old queen.
Yeah.
Here's a question from one of our this is one of our all-time favorites here. Are you smarter than Christopher Columbus? Today, with your knowledge in the modern world, are you smarter than any of the greatest like Renaissance minds from, the 1300s?
Absolutely not. No.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you might have more knowledge of things that exist, but nobody's smarter than these people.
Yeah, but you also think about like, there are certain things that they believe to be true, which just were not, that you do. Yeah, you knowing certain things would make you technically smarter than them, no?
Well, but we're going to find out someday. So some idiot 200 years from now will be smarter than us.
Yeah. I think about that. What do you think today is there was a time where the whole world believed that the sun revolved around us.
Right.
What do you think that we're going to learn 200 years from now? That's like, can you believe those idiots in the year 2020 believed?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, like, probably alien life.
Yeah.
I mean,
you believe in it?
Yeah.
You think
they're?
You think they've been here at all?
What's that?
You think aliens have been here at all?
Well, they keep trying to say they have been now, right?
Yeah, that latest report was pretty fucking crazy.
I know, and it's like, it's just strange. If they haven't been, they went to a lot of trouble to put something like that down. For what reason? You know.
Yeah. It seems like going out of your way for a little bit. Do a couple more here. How famous do you think someone needs to be for their death to be considered an assassination?
Well, I think. I mean, there's not that many assassinations in history. How famous? Like what?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, if you get shot tomorrow, are they going to say Colin Quinn was assassinated? If you get shot on stage, would it be assassinated?
Ooh.
Right? Kind of think it would be.
You're right. An assassination has to take it has to take place you have to be on a platform.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay, but then what if, like, you know, I don't know, some Joe Schmo who's up on stage that night, he gets shot. He's not getting assassinated, is he?
No, that's true. But I mean, that's a good question. Is what's the physical layout? We all know assassination is political people, but it's also a physical layout. So it has to be somebody looking up, like even JFK, the grassy knoll.
Mm-hmm.
If it had just been Lee Harvey Oswald, it wouldn't have been an assassination.
It was down.
Would you, if I gave you $1 billion right now, but you're never allowed to leave the state of Ohio, would you take it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
These guys fight me on it. It actually used to be something like $1 trillion, and we had to scale it down. They all say they wouldn't take it. I would take $1 billion, and you could put me in like a single house for the rest of my life.
Dude, what do I do with $1 billion in Cleveland?
I don't know. Whatever you want.
Columbus, Cincinnati, some of Cleveland is cool.
I said with that kind of money, you can bring whatever you need to you.
Look at Chappelle. He doesn't have $1 billion. He hasn't left Ohio for, he's got everybody flying in to visit him.
Yeah, right.
You got that money. You can bring it home. It doesn't matter where you are.
So you never go to the beach again?
No.
You don't strike me as a beach guy, Colin.
Those wave things now, those wave machines.
Are you a beach, pool, or lake guy?
Beach.
Yeah. Oh, wait, beach? I thought you said pool. I was so sure you weren't going to say beach there. I can't see you on the beach.
No, everybody said, here's what drives me crazy in life, but it's the way it is. People always say that about me. You don't like the beach. I go, I love the beach.
All right. I mean, you can't judge a book, man. One more here for you. You're familiar with the movie The Purge, where crime is legal for 24 hours. If the purge happened, would you participate, and what crime would you commit first?
I would probably, it used to be a longer list. I've matured, but I'd probably commit murder on several.
I love that's the matured answer. I go fucking kill him.
More people. It used to be a purge within a purge. Now it's be a couple of select people that I'd probably, either kill or badly wound.
Like, all right, who's the number one target?
I really can't.
Give me a hint. What does this name rhyme with? All right, man. Well, listen, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate the interview and playing our game here. You really are a legend, man, and thank you so much for coming on. It's a big moment for us, so appreciate it.
You come on my new podcast.
Yeah. It is out September 22nd, right? Overstated, coast to coast roads to the 50 states.
Thanks, man. You guys are great.
Go get it. Thank you, Colin.
All right, have a go, man. Anytime you want to come back on, open invite.
I appreciate it.
I'm sure Colin can't wait.
See ya.